Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new recording of the Anination podcast. I think most of you fans are going to be in for a special night, besides the fact that the title is called the massive Disney TVA pilot leaks.
Oh, yeah, because for what you're about to see in tonight's episode, well, you already know what we're going to talk about, and I bet you're excited for that certain topic, so.
But we got a lot of topics. I mean, we're continuing on with our Big City Greens episode reviews tonight with the Concrete Jungle and Starter Pack. I hope you guys watched that episode. It just came out like, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so. It came out a couple weeks ago, and I figured, you know what? Since it came out a couple weeks ago, I figured this was a perfect time to talk about it.
Yeah. So there's that. We also have the Knuckles First Impressions as we continue on our First Impression series. And if you were watching Knuckles during Paramount Plus, you would notice that there is a brand new announcement for the Loud House, the Loud House movie No Time to Spy. We're going to be talking for it a little bit tonight, so hopefully you guys are psyched up for that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's we're finishing up our stuff here, but sit back and relax, listen to the Pokemon music that I have in the playlist. But we'll be on in just a bit, guys, so stay tuned. Right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of the Anination podcast. My name is Nate, and Omid is on my side here.
What is up, Anination crew? How y'all doing? Hope you're having a good start to a brand new month, which is May. So, yeah, May, your month shine bright, shine bright.
May your may shine bright. I'm sorry, what was that?
May your month shine very bright.
Okay, so today is May 1st, and I gotta put out for those who know Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Do you know the meme, right? It's gotta be May.
All right, that one.
Yeah, the Justin Timberlake meme. You gotta
It's
put
gotta
that
be
up
May.
now. Yeah.
So happy Justin Timberlake month, I guess.
Yeah, that's a meme that everybody like puts up on Facebook, on Twitter, stuff like that. And I want to say this first off. Since it is May 1st, I want to give a congratulations to SpongeBob SquarePants for 25 years being on Nickelodeon. I have to say this though. I mean, even though we kind of like shit talk a lot when it comes about SpongeBob here in the podcast, I have to say it has been my childhood. I grew up watching it when I was like 9 years old, starting it off when it began, and just started to like love like SpongeBob from the first couple of seasons. And then all the memes came out, and I found it more funnier too. Even though the show kind of declined, I still have to give my props up to SpongeBob. Hey, 25 years in Nickelodeon, and you're thriving so far. So good job, good job, SpongeBob.
Yes. Now, of course, with SpongeBob, and during its 25 years, we've seen the highs and we've seen the lows, but I will definitely say that the best times of SpongeBob for me were definitely during my childhood years. Not only did we get, 3 incredible seasons, but we also got so much merchandise. The video games are a hit, especially Battle for Bikini Bottom, and of course, the first SpongeBob movie, which is a gem.
I think first SpongeBob movie undoubtedly was a gem. Felt like a very amazing adventure. The second movie was okay. I thought it was okay just because you ended up like having some great celebrities over there. But yeah, the third movie's starting to suck, and I'm kind of wondering how that fourth movie is gonna be. So
I'm honestly not holding my hopes high for
look,
that.
we're not supposed to shit talk SpongeBob tonight, guys.
I'm sorry, but it's just I got to be honest. Like I said, we've seen the highs of SpongeBob, we've seen the lows of SpongeBob. This is a perfect opportunity to celebrate the highs. So.
Yeah, so let's celebrate the highs here. Yes, 25 years of SpongeBob. I hope you guys have enjoyed the Sponge on Nickelodeon, and I'm pretty sure there's more years to thrive for that Sponge.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see 25 more years, no doubt.
Yes. So yeah, that's what I wanted to shout out here before we get started on our catch up time. How has your week been, Omid?
My week has been pretty good. Of course, especially Saturday and Sunday was those 2 fun-filled days for me. We'll start with Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, so Saturday, I went to Westfield Valley Fair Mall with this gentleman right over here and our friend Jess. The 3 of us went to Westfield Valley Fair Mall.
Yeah,
and
I think we have to bring her out just because this topic revolves around her.
Yes. See, the reason why we brought up this lovely, adorable anime daughter being over here is because we watched her movie Spy X Family Code White.
Yes, and that movie was actually okay. So that movie was more of a side story to the anime that is currently airing right now on Crunchyroll. If anything, it's actually fun to see Anya just being precious as she's always been. And then you just get to see Lloyd being the spy himself, and was it Yor just being an amazing freaking assassin that she is.
Oh, yeah. Yor could be such a badass as a Thorn Princess.
Yeah. And then, again, a side story about that. I have to say this, though. I know that this might be a little bit spoilery, but there's too many poop jokes in that movie.
Not too many. There was just 1 or 2 particular poop jokes.
Oh, God, no. Just the sequence that Anya had to go through with the poop thing.
And usually I'm against toilet humor. Like, I hate pee and poop jokes because most of the time they're just gross for my taste.
How'd you survive all of season 1 and 2 of Loud House then?
But see, I love season 1, but even that got a bit too much for me. Like even back then, Spy X Family is one of those rare instances where the poop jokes actually work. Like they were actually legit funny because of the wit it had to it.
Yeah, so we ended up watching Spy Family, and we will be reviewing this movie in the later Anination podcast episode. So get ready for that.
No doubt about it. I can't wait to talk about this movie. Waku waku.
And then you said you did something fun on Sunday, according to what you said.
Yeah. So Sunday, so on Sunday, my friend had this going away picnic that took place in Alta Park, which is between Jackson Street and Steiner Street in San Francisco. And my girlfriend and I went to Alta Park. We met up with. Actually, the group met up with us, and we pretty much sat down and had some finger foods such as bread, cheese, crackers, and all that good stuff.
Like a crudité or something, because that's like a like a cheese plate or something.
And the cheese puffs and all that good stuff. It was pretty much sitting and talking, have a good time, and wishing our friend the very best in her trip to Guam. So yeah,
She like wait, so you said going away. Is she like moving to Guam or?
she's not moving to Guam. She's going there for about 3 months and then coming
Oh
back.
wow, is that for school or?
It's pretty much to do her thing. She's pretty much got because she's been talking about wanting to visit Guam for a long while, and so
Is she like family in Guam or something?
she has memories of Guam. She may have adventures of Guam, like friends of Guam, but pretty much she's pretty much doing her thing there, and I can't wait to hear about it once she comes back.
Okay, that sounds cool. Yeah, I saw the pictures by the way. Is that your first time actually showing your girlfriend to like your friends there?
Yeah, it actually is my first time showing my girlfriend, like in person. A couple of good friends of mine. I can't wait for her to meet you. So.
I'm waiting for that. Just wait to see her. She was supposed to be on your birthday, but I didn't see her there.
Yeah, no, she had mandatory work to do, like her job thing. So that's why. But it will come up in the future. I promise, man.
Yeah, is she going to Fan Anime or not?
She is going to Fan Anime on Saturday, so you're going to see her there.
Okay, that'd be pretty cool. Awesome. All right. Well, besides the whole Spy Family movie that we went through, Sunday I actually ended up going to. Oh, look, I kind of a gambler myself, so every month, sometimes like throughout the months, I would actually go and check out a casino somewhere that's close to us. So I went up to the North Bay. I actually passed by the Golden Gate Bridge. I don't know if you saw my Instagram, but I did pass the Golden Gate Bridge. Just because the toll. Well, here's the thing: like, you would want to pay the toll to go through the bridge, or do you want to actually go like the longer way and not pay a toll and actually go through the Golden Gate Bridge? And that's what I did. And it is a long journey, but I was able to actually head up the casino, which is like further up north, like far away from us. But I ended up actually making a profit instead of losing money. So, and FYI, do not gamble. I recommend you guys don't gamble.
Yeah,
don't be like me.
Like, why are you bringing up this story? You're sort of like being a negative.
I want something. That's the thing. It's risky to do that, by the way.
Yeah, it is. I would say, like gambling is not something that we would recommend.
Yeah, but another thing too is that I met my friend over there too, and I didn't know that she actually was gonna be there because I thought she was also playing as well, but she ended up actually just taking care of her dad, who he plays.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Yeah, there's that. FYI, if you ever want to go check out the casino resort that I was talking about up north, let me know. We can take a drive up there and you can check out like all the stuff they have.
Yeah, whenever I feel like doing a little gambling myself, I'll let you know, man.
It's kind of fun.
Again, not recommended. Not recommended.
I don't care. I mean, I have a good job to say. That's what I think. All right. Anya, sorry, we have to bring you back over here. Kind of bothering everybody out here.
But we will put you back in the spotlight next week.
Yeah. All right, Anya. Thank you for your time. All right. Without further ado, let's actually start the episode because we have a lot to talk about tonight. So let's actually start it off with our Big City Greens episode reviews. And let's actually start it off with Concrete Jungle. Now, this episode was absolutely interesting because it's not a regular episode that you expect from Big City Greens because it's a documentary to say. It's mostly a narrator talking while the rest of the Big City Greens crew was doing their own thing. So how do you like the aspect of a narrator coming in and talking about like what's going on in Big City while the Greens are doing their own thing?
I was like, in the jungle, the concrete jungle, the mighty Greens tonight.
It wasn't tonight, though. It wasn't tonight. It was a daytime.
Yeah, it was a daytime, but I said today. But anyway, I like it caught me by surprise because it's actually the first time that a Big City Greens episode actually went the documentary route. If you know what I mean.
Well, here's the thing. I've seen them before. Do you remember Dexter's Lab?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying this is the first time a cartoon has actually done it.
I know, but the thing is that nobody has done that in quite a while. Nobody has never done documentaries about a cartoon or something like that.
Krusty Krab training video will like award with you.
It wasn't really that. Was it really that?
Then again, it was a training video.
It's a training video. It's not a freaking documentary. No. Yeah, narrator comes in, but you hear SpongeBob.
Narrator comes in.
Yeah, you hear SpongeBob and Squidward literally doing their thing. It's not like there's no dialogue at all that much. I mean, you get to see Alice saying idiots all the time, but in Dexter's Lab, there was no dialogue at all from Dee Dee, Dexter, or anybody of the parents. It's literally a life of how Dexter is.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was actually pretty smart. I actually liked that episode.
Yeah, it's definitely does stand out as one of the more unique Dexter's Lab episodes,
Yeah.
and this is no exception here. With this, it felt like watching National Geographic.
Yeah, kind of. Actually, to be fair, it kind of does, just because the narrator actually does it pretty well.
I'm actually surprised they didn't call this National Greenographic.
What? Okay, I don't know about that. All right, so let's actually move on, because the documentary just goes through pretty much every green and their life. So let's actually start off with the first character that they documented in this documentary. They go with Alice Green, and pretty much what they treated her was that she was the main the mainstay of the household. She's the one who protects like everybody in the house. So whenever something happens, like for example, jackhammers ruining her road, she'll go in and beat them up.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Alice's story in this documentary?
I do like the fact of how they make Alice Green the in charge character of the family, because that's what she really is, given her old age, given her rough and tough attitude. And it's fun to see her go up against these construction workers. The best part about it was where she squawks like a bird, like, "Idiots!
I love that.
Idiots!"
So she's a bird, right?
She's half bird. She's part bird, but mostly gorilla.
I feel like more rhino, just because she takes a hard hand, she charges at those construction workers.
So bird dinorilla? Bird dinorilla.
I don't know.
I don't know. Part bird, part gorilla, part rhino. Yeah. So she pretty much fights against these construction workers, and it's interesting how the alpha of the construction worker is the female construction worker, who's very
like
tough and buff.
Yeah.
Hella tough. Just like Alice Green herself. And so they butt heads like boom, and then Alice ends up being the victor in the end. And then the Green puffs her chest, like Alice Green puffs her chest like,
yeah, she kind of feels like
she's a gorilla.
Gorilla. I do like the fact that in the documentary they actually talk about Alice's neck. For example, the calcium alkalides that she has aged throughout has gotten stronger, and that's why she can be able to tackle down a big bully like that one construction worker.
But yeah, good on Alice for defending her turf, and congrats to her on her for the win.
Yeah, so she ended up actually defending her house. So that was the story about Alice Green. Let's actually talked about Cricket and Remy, because they're just kids. They're just playing around. And then when food starts to come in this case, a food truck, a lot of people will come by, and of course, Cricket and Remy want to also get that food. Unfortunately, there are other animals, aka teenagers, that will come in and steal that food, and Remy and Cricket have to find a way to get that food back. How do you like that story of Remy and Cricket when it gets talked about in this documentary?
I like the fact of how the documentary episode portrays Cricket and Remy as these playful cubs, because it actually does happen.
They kind of feel like cubs, just because they're kids and they're just playing around in a park.
It does feel like it, because cubs do tend to pal around, play around, and all that stuff and such. And so I like the fact of how they have a burger food truck, and let's be honest, that food truck looks so hip. Because
if you remember that episode where Bill Green went to get a burger.
Welcome to Burger.
Yeah.
But instead of an E, they replaced it with apostrophe.
Yeah, it's BRGR, burger.
Burger.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how the teenagers end up being the antagonists, which is kind of unnatural. It's like, wouldn't teenagers just mind their own business instead of picking on these little kids?
Well, here's the thing, the cubs are supposed to be the child animals, to say, and then the older animals end up getting it's kind of like how documentary things go. The older animals would be the ones that get the food the more, and somehow in this case, the baby cubs end up actually trying to get the food back, just to outsmart the older cubs or something,
Something that actually does come to mind is, if Cricket and Remy are the lion cubs, what are the teenagers supposed to be? My first initial thought is the hyenas.
Yeah, I was thinking so too.
I was thinking hyenas.
I was thinking hyenas too.
Lion King.
Although from the way I'm seeing it too, because a little bit of things moving forward in the episode, Cricket and Remy do end up getting the food back by being being espionage or something, because I remember like a puff of smoke comes in, they disappear, and then when the teenagers didn't see them anymore, they were like acting like animals, like they're acting like monkeys to say,
Yeah,
like,
so
wow, 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 or something like that.
So scratch that.
Until their cell phones ended up like ruining their ruining their like monkey business to say.
Okay, so maybe not hyenas, but monkeys. They're still a wild bunch.
Still a wild bunch. They're supposed to be the antagonists. They're supposed to be the ones that kind of prey on the kids.
Yeah.
And they would do something to at least make the kids more miserable or something.
But thankfully, Cricket and Remy prevail at the end, and then they eat their burgers, but in a more savage way.
To be fair, like if once they get those burgers, they the documentarian says like, oh, they eat them in a very peculiar way, but again, it's like them eating food. They're hungry. They want to eat that whole eat that whole fries, eat that whole burger. Yeah,
Yeah.
So that was pretty much the whole Cricket and Remy stick that happened in that story. The episode then moves over to Gloria working over at Big Coffee.
Let's go. Yes. Yes.
One thing about Gloria, I mean, I love the fact that in the beginning of the episode they call her the bottom dweller.
No.
She is. Boo. She is. She literally is renting. She's literally renting a room for free. She's in the basement.
She is not a bottom dweller. She is a top dweller.
Oh God, what?
She'll be a top dweller.
Top dweller. Okay, what? Anyways, but here's the other thing too. She takes out the trash, and apparently she finds shoes in the trash. She looks in the trash for something, and she ends up picking up shoes, which look great, but at the same time, she ends up getting caught in a trash can thing that she could have actually gotten into the trash a little bit more. The only way that she can actually get saved is by actually screaming, and then she gets rescued.
Yeah, it is weird. Places. I never imagined Gloria to be a dumpster kind of girl.
I don't know about Gloria. I don't know about her.
Like, I'm sorry, but I know these shoes look good and everything, but wouldn't you rather buy them online or go to a store and get them, Gloria? Just saying.
I don't know, they're free. That's one thing, but still, I mean, like, wow, Gloria, how about
you
how
own
about
a cafe? You own a cafe. You're making good money. I'm pretty sure you can afford them.
I don't know. It's just weird how Gloria ends up like that. I'm like, wow. I thought she actually would be successful. She still is kind of struggling.
But then again, I do love seeing her wild side.
Oh
so.
My God. He's trying to do whatever it takes to make him happy, like for Gloria's sake. I don't know. It's a thing that he likes. He likes Gloria a lot. So
my favorite character of the show. What can I say? But yeah, she was pretty much in a lose-lose situation where she ends up being crushed to death or she ends up being humiliated. Obviously, she went with the latter, and I'm glad she did. But she also got those red shoes, and even though she's been, kind of humiliated at the end, she still prevails. Like she screamed like, ah!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, good for Gloria in that case, but it still doesn't reflect her in a good light. The fact that she is a bottom dweller and that she looks in the trash for anything free, and I'm like, ugh, disgusting.
Top dweller. She's top dweller.
Oh my gosh.
Let me correct you on that.
Get that. There's a sick joke in that, but we'll get that. He'll never understand it, I guess. So let's actually go to Tilly's timeline here, where she actually goes in a crosswalk. She wants to cross the street, and the way to actually cross the street is to actually be more prevailing, to say. Like, there's something about Tilly where if she wants to cross traffic, she needs to like be distracting, and that's why she ended up becoming one of those like inflatable tube men people.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on Tilly in her story in this documentary?
Again, I like how they present Tilly as a cub, much like Cricket and Remy. In this case, however, she is in a rather different situation compared to the other two, because she's trying to get to the other side of the street, but unfortunately, there's heavy traffic on both sides, and both sides of traffic run really fast, so it's hard for her to get from one side to the next.
I think the issue is I kind of do like it for the fact that like for her to actually like get through the traffic and the crosswalks don't work, is for her to actually be like not like walk like a person that's just walking through traffic. She literally is just like acting like an inflatable two-man to just distract the drivers of anything.
Yeah.
And then she did the same thing too by actually being on stilts and being more dominant, I guess, just to just use like cones or something in order for her to get through traffic and all.
It reminds me of Toy Story 2. You remember that scene of Toy Story 2
with
the toys?
Where they were all like being cones.
They're hiding in the orange cones. They try to get from one side of traffic to the next. I think this scene was inspired by Toy Story 2. I could be wrong.
So. I don't know. I mean, either way, I mean, Tilly it was pretty funny for her. I mean, she's supposed to be the kind girl, but then she knows her clever ways of getting through situations in the big city. So There's that.
And see, the beautiful thing about Tilly is that you could put her in any situation, any kind of scenario, and Tilly would somehow manage to make it work because, well, like Tilly's more than just a kind girl. She's actually really smart when push comes to shove.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, I mean, Tilly's part was just pretty straightforward there, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's Tilly's part in the concrete jungle. But actually, let's go to Bill, because that's the last story that we're going to be talking about for the concrete jungle. Bill is a farmer. He goes to the farmer's market, ends up buying eggs. He heads to the subway, where apparently this one guy who likes to get his eggs.
Yeah,
and the way that he tries to get off his back is to escape by like was it barrel rolling through like everything in the subway.
do a barrel roll.
Yeah. So, your thoughts on Bill just trying to make sure those eggs are kept safe as he goes home?
It actually makes sense that they would give Bill the kind of plot arc, the kind of story arc in which he protects the eggs, because keep in mind that Bill is a nurturing kind of parent, as we've seen throughout the series. So it is in character for him to want to protect these eggs. I do like the fact that they made Bill an armadillo, because like he pretty much rolls. He doesn't run with feet. He actually rolls from the subway tracks to safety, and thus he protects the precious eggs.
He protects his like prize, to say, because he ends up earning those eggs by just paying the farmer's market guy. But I just love the fact that like there's somebody who wants to steal those eggs, and what he does is do these rolls randomly in the subway train, and I'm like, okay.
And it's interesting how the guy who wants to steal him is actually a muscular man, because he wants the protein and stuff.
Okay,
So
okay.
I mean, like, I guess that's how muscular men are.
I don't know. I just feel like because the eggs are colorful is the reason why the guy ends up wanting him. I don't know. It's weird. But the point of the whole story is that once you get those items that you want, there are other people that want them too. You just have to protect them.
Yeah, you just have to protect him, whatever the cost. And the way that the episode, portrayed Bill, the way he rolls was very clever, well done, because the fact of how it's nature documentary, but focused on the greens.
Yeah, I'm still kind of wondering, like, well, can Bill really do a barrel roll like that? Why can't I see that more in the show?
I think it's because this episode gives each of the greens a animal trait, because of the fact of, like I said before, this is portrayed as a nature documentary type episode.
All right, well, that's Bill's part. And what happened at the end of the documentary is the fact that all the Greens ended up pretty much spending their entire day doing their work. And apparently, Tilly went back home. Alice is pretty much protecting the whole farm. You see Gloria still dirty in that trash can, literally going home now. I'm like, what's going on with her? And then Bill Green also protecting those eggs. Now he brought back those eggs home, and they end up getting a good dinner at the end. So your thoughts on the finale of the Concrete Jungle?
I like the fact that the eggs actually led up to something, because the eggs were used to cook up the dinner, and that's why Bill protected them in the first place. But it was still nice and heartwarming to see, like, after a rough day, like all of them had a rough day, they come together, they share stories, they compliment each other. It shows how, no matter how rough life gets, they have each other.
Somehow those shoes that Gloria ended up getting in the trash, she ended up cleaning them up really well.
and she looks beautiful in those shoes. She looks beautiful in those shoes. So yeah,
he would always say that. I swear to God, this guy.
You gotta admit, they look fashionable on
They do. I mean, they're shiny and stuff. How do you end up getting like a dirty shoe ended up shiny? That's my issue, Gloria. What's your secret in making clean shoes?
I mean, maybe she has her way. She may hire a shoe shiner. Maybe she shines them herself. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, no matter what, the documentary ends with I like how the narrator literally says, like, well, we don't know what will happen next in the Concrete Jungle.
I'm honestly waiting for a Concrete Jungle Part 2 to happen.
We don't know, but maybe another season of Big City might actually give us that. We'll see.
BCG Season 5, wink, wink.
I don't know about this, man. But overall, I think this is actually really clever. It's really clever for Big City Greens to do this, because I never expect a documentary series, anything like that. Like I said, the last time I saw a documentary series that was this good would be Dexter's Lab back in the 90s. So if anything, it's been a long time since we saw some documentary thing come up from a cartoon like this. So
yeah,
it's very clever for Big City to do this.
3 decades. It's been 3 decades since this current cartoon documentary and the previous. Can you believe it? 3 decades between Justice Lab and Big City Greens.
Yeah, I was just comparing between like if I don't know if there is any other like cartoons that does documentary series like this, but again, just the one cartoon that come to mind was Dexter's Lab.
Yeah, if there's any more, to those in the chat, comment below if we missed any sort of like cartoon episode that was done in documentary style. I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear about it.
All right. Any more thoughts on Concrete Jungle?
Concrete Jungle, I just find it really entertaining, just by the fact that it went with its own style of episode writing, just by the fact of how they made each green and each scenario the greens are in done in such a nature documentary style manner. The best part about it is giving each green and Gloria animal was one particular animal trait, like for example, Bill rolling like an armadillo, Cricket and Remy devouring food like lion cubs, etc., etc.
Right. Like I said, I want just to say there, but it was great. Really smart for Big City to do this. Yeah, I hope we can do another thing like this. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I'm honestly waiting for this because, like I said before, this could actually work as multiple episodes, not just the one.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if they're gonna make more documentary things like this.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the second half of the episode that came out. Second half of the episode pair that came out for Big City Green. So let's start it off with Starter Pack. So this is an episode where Cricket ended up getting one of the rarest cards that Remy is collecting, and Remy will do whatever it takes to protect that card or get that card from Cricket. So we ended up seeing Remy, who's a big fan of this trading card series called Galaxu. Galaxu is like a franchise centered around intergalactic monsters. If you train and collect, there's a secret that FYI, like Remy actually has like a big room of Galaxu cards, like Galaxu memorabilia. Reminds me of something, right?
Yes. Reminds me of a certain card game in which you gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah, it kind of does seem that way, considering that he was doing whatever it takes to collect all those cards. So your thoughts on this Galaxu thing and Remy being a huge fan of it?
Remy's a weeb like us. Let's go. Just kidding. And in all seriousness, though, I do like the fact that Remy is a huge Galaxy fan. Like, he is such a huge time nerd, and it definitely worked. It actually makes it even better. We consider the fact that Zeno Robinson voices Remy. Zeno Robinson's a nerd himself, so it works. Remy is such a huge Galaxy collector. He loves the anime. He loves the games. He collects the cards. Like he has a huge lair dedicated to Galaxy. I'm just like, that's one diehard.
It's a really
fan
secret
right
like lair that he has. So like you have to like go to the underground floor or something to get to the Galaxy collection.
I just like the fact that Remy has a hyperfixation.
I mean, we all kind of do, right?
We all kind of do have a hyperfixation. Yes. Hospital Hotel.
Wow, you're admitting it now.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I pretty much said the quiet part out loud, didn't I?
Anyway. I mean, if that's the case, Amphibia would be mine.
Yeah. Anyway, so Cricket is amazed by the Galaxy, room and all, and Remy shows Cricket the empty glass box in which there's supposed to be a rare card called the Starmadillo, and he's been yearning to get it.
So, I like the fact that, like, even throughout this collection, I think Cricket was actually interested in Galaxy. So, it was kind of funny that he ended up, like, buying a pack later while they were going to the trading card store. Like, out of all the boxes that Remy ends up buying in those trading cards, he doesn't even get that Starmadillo that he was, like, raving for. So, he has a collection. It's all there in that wall. That Starmadillo is, like, the rarest card that there is. It's just that he does whatever it takes to get it. I mean, buying all those boxes, for example.
And how Cricket becomes interested in Galaxy in the first place because, well, it's monsters fighting.
Yeah, it's interesting like that, yes. So yeah, let's go to the store where we get to see Remy and Cricket literally buy Galaxy cards.
You almost said
Pokemon. I was going to say Pokemon just because it is related to Pokemon, guys. You can just see that, man.
You almost said Pokemon.
So Cricket ends up buying one pack while Remy ends up buying many boxes. The Starmadillo wasn't in those boxes, but Cricket ends up getting that Starmadillo card. Your thoughts on Cricket, out of all people, getting that card and then seeing Remy's reaction from it?
Yeah, it turns out that when Cricket got the Starmadillo card, everyone in that card game shop was amazed by it. It was just like, ooh and ah. Meanwhile, Remy trying so hard to contain his jealousy, but, he's trying so hard, but it's really hard. Remy does end up congratulating Cricket begrudgingly because it's something he wanted for a long time, and he's been a Galaxy fan for years, whereas Cricket is just starting to learn about Galaxy. He didn't even know about Galaxy until that very day.
So I just love how Cricket was just well, he just gets up getting it, and that's one thing. And I do like the fact that they were going to go into a trading card battle between each other. And I love how Cricket treats the card like it's just a monster or something. And do you see like everybody being like, no, don't do that, no.
yeah. It's pretty much a common thing. It's a natural thing for Galaxy and these card nerds to pretty much lose it whenever someone treats their card that way, because I can see why. It is a rare card. You have to treat it with dignity. You have to treat respect.
I mean, those rare cards end up getting big money. It's kind of like a Weiss Schwartz card where you get like a signed card. Oh, that's money already.
Yeah. By the way, I got to get to Weiss Schwartz soon, but anyways, like Cricket ends up treating the card like a toy.
No, he does, and obviously, again, the reactions that everybody was shocked about. It's like, don't do that, Cricket. And the fact that like Remy is hella jealous, just the fact that like, hey, he treats cards like this. I can't let him stake Starbadillo.
and inside Remy's imagination, it's a figment of Remy's imagination, but Starmadillo is a actual character in Remy's head. Like Starmadillo's
like the card is actually talking to him.
Starmadillo comes to life and says, "Remy, you're my one true owner."
Also voiced by Chris Sabat, the anime voice person. If you don't recognize
All Might and Zoro.
Yeah, there you go.
And so Starmadillo. I like the fact that he's voiced by an anime actor, by the way. Now, Starmadillo is a fusion, the love child of Staryu and Sandshrew.
Okay.
If you look at it, if you look at it closely.
He said Sandshrew.
Yeah, that's what I said, Sandshrew, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you talk about the Pokemon?
Yeah,
and,
the actual Galaxy character, Starmadillo himself, it looks like a fusion of the two.
Yeah, it kind of does, yeah. I don't know how to compare it when it comes to it, but it is feel like a Starmadillo. It makes sense, right? No matter what, it is pretty cute, but the whole main story about this starter pack is the fact that Remy wants that card, and will do whatever it takes to do it. So he does something out of the ordinary and actually hires Gloria to do a commission card, to actually make a card, paint it over, and make it look like the Starmadillo card.
Gloria gets her first commission. I'm so proud. Let's go.
What are your thoughts on Gloria getting a commission and all that?
Yeah, and I do like the fact that Gloria plays an artistic role in this. Like, she paints the Starmadillo card from top to bottom, and she does it with such authenticity.
So the thing is, like, this is a thing that happens in Pokemon fans. Like, Pokemon fans literally just take old cards and paint it over with like, and make it look good, to say. So when Remy literally just tells Gloria like, "Hey, I'll pay you to make this card become a Starmadillo card," and you can totally see like Gloria being like hella excited with her first commission and stuff like that.
She's so happy.
It's every artist whenever they see that, like, "Oh, my first commission! Oh my god, yay!"
Yeah, we've seen artists get excited like that over Twitter or something like that. and so later on we see Alice looking at Galaxy, and she's like, "You call this a cartoon? Why isn't there characters getting hit in the head with anvils?"
It ain't no Looney Tunes, okay?
I'm like, Grandma Alice. Not every cartoon or anime has to be Tom and Jerry, okay?
Or Looney Tunes in this case, yes.
I do like the fact.
I love the whole old reference though.
Yes.
It goes back to when she watched cartoons. We get it.
When she watched cartoons, Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes. Yeah, the hit in the head with the anvils. Those are back with her days, so I like the fact that part always makes me laugh every time.
How do you like the fact that like Cricket actually knew the card was fake because she actually knows Gloria's art style?
I like the fact that even though Cricket is sort of a rambunctious and sort of a wild child, they point out that Cricket isn't stupid. They point out that Cricket actually is smart when he needs to be. So he looks at the card and like he pretty much calls BS on it, saying, "This isn't real. Look, it's got Gloria's signature on it," or something like that. And then Gloria is all flattered. Like, you see the blush in her. And it's like, what? I'm flattered by the she gets flattered by the compliment. It's just like,
she gets flattered by the fact that people know her art style.
Yes.
Like, I know this is fake.
What a day for my ego.
Okay. Like Gloria is just proud that everybody like people know about her art style and stuff.
Yes.
So yeah. That plan didn't end up working, but we get to see that Cricket is getting a little bit angry as the fact that Remy wants that card. So Cricket actually does kick Remy out, but Remy will do, like I said, Remy will do whatever it takes to get that card, and this ends up becoming like a little like real life like Galaxy battle where we get to see like Remy summon Vasquez and Cricket summons Alice, and they both like fight in the Green's household.
And they do it in Pokemon style as well, where you got Cricket choosing all the Pokemon like moves for Alice, shouting commands at Alice to do these tricks, and they got Remy doing the same with Vasquez.
Yeah, so nonetheless, they're doing these shouting stuff, but at the same time, you also get to see Cricket and Remy also fighting as well, saying like, "Oh, I want this card, I want this card." But then you also get to see this one moment where you get to see Cricket pick up this picture where they were like fishing in the river. If you remember that first season episode, by the way, shout outs to the Big City Greats writers to actually remember that.
Remy accidentally steps on the picture frame that contains the picture of the two and Bill fishing together, like you said. And it's definitely a great callback to season 1, because that is during the time when the episode where Nancy messes up Saxton happened, you know. And I do, it's good to see a good glimpse of, you know, what Bill and the boys have been up to like during those events.
So yeah, I mean, no matter what, the fight just ended up actually being settled down after the whole confrontation or resolution that they have. In the end, Cricket will keep the card, and Remy, Remy apologizes for being a jerk. Cricket forgives him for stepping on the. Oh, he also steps on a card. Whoops. So, how do you feel about the ending of the episode?
Okay, I another hilarious line was when Grandma Alice says, "I'll see you in Slumberland."
Oh God, yeah, I remember that.
And then she
well,
just
she get
snaps.
like sleeps, like she's on a bed or something, and then she just like goes place rest or something.
Okay, and the ending is beautiful because you get to see Gloria doing yet another painting, and then you see, you know, Cricket and Remy like say Galaxy, and then Gloria paints them as if real. So it's like, that's my pupil artist.
Oh my gosh. You know what, though? If anything, it does reflect Gloria as she is an artist. We don't actually see her that much as an artist. She just works in Big Coffee or Gloria and Green Cafe.
Seriously, I'm rooting for her to have an art career. She deserves it.
Right. But again, we don't see much focus on Gloria at the moment. But no matter what, at least something about an art focus actually happens here for Gloria. But besides that, I mean, if anything, references to Pokemon, which I was like, oh my God, this is definitely Pokemon. The anime even the anime like look-alike that happened in the episode like looks very much like Pokemon. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
The protagonist in Galaxy definitely looks like Ash.
Kind of does, yeah. And like the villain was supposed to be like Team Rocket or something. Oh, and I do love the fact that like I feel for Remy. Like remember like all the rare cards that I would get, and I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that they never get broken, they never get like scratched or anything, or else it loses its monetary value. I'm one of those folks too, so I make sure like whenever I pull a rare card, I have like a sleeve with me and put it in there and put another sleeve on top so that I can actually protect it even more.
Yes, yeah. Protect your rare cards at all costs.
I know Cricket is not that one person, but yeah.
Yeah, and like this episode is definitely for those that collect Pokemon, those that collect anime, those that collect Magic the Gathering, all kinds of TCG cards. This episode is definitely for you.
Yeah. Again, it reflects me from like when I was a kid, when I had Pokemon cards, and now it kind of reflects me now when I have White Schwartz cards. So
honestly, I'm gonna say this right now. Like this episode is by far my favorite of like the bunch that came out like this month. This is definitely my favorite just because of the fact of how it displays nerd culture, just the fact of, you know, Gloria gets her first commission, by the fact that it portrays like the ending, the climax as sort of a Pokemon battle. Like it's pretty much all that encompassed.
I feel like it definitely like reflected Pokemon a lot. Indeed. It was quite an interesting episode, and like I said, it was pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's one of those episodes I can just watch over and over.
Oh, indeed, yeah. So yeah, so that's it. That's all the Big City Greens episodes that we're reviewing. We're gonna review 2 more episodes, and that'll be it for our Big City Greens episode reviews until the movie comes out in June. So we'll have something about that also.
And believe me when we say that they put the big on Big City Green movie. Emphasis on big.
I mean, Spacecation. I mean,
Yes.
have you seen the trailer? We really want to hope we get a big trailer coming out soon for the movie, but we'll see.
Bingo bango.
All right, so that's it for our Big City Green episode review. Let's actually move on to the next topic that we have here. Let's talk about Knuckles. Yes, Sonic the Hedgehog, Red Echidna Knuckles. Now, recently Paramount Plus released a brand new show that is a spin-off to the Sonic movies. The show is called Knuckles. The show focuses on the Red Echidna named Knuckles and his friendship with a deputy named Wade Phillips. So when you heard about this announcement, what are your thoughts on Knuckles teaming up with this Wade Phillips guy?
First things first. Now, in terms of the Knuckles aspect, Knuckles getting his own spin-off show in the first place, it actually makes sense when you consider the fact of how Knuckles is one of the most popular, if not the most popular character of Sonic 2 alone. So him getting a spin-off show was kind of expected. Like, it was something that surprised me, but not surprised me at the same time. But him teaming up with Wade is something I never expected at all.
First off, Wade is just a random person that came out from Sonic 1.
Wade is a random person. Well, not just a random person, but he's also the partner of Tom. Now, Wade is not the brightest bulb of the Christmas tree. I mean, he does try to help out his friend and partner Tom, but he can come off as a doofus most of the time.
Well, to be fair, Tom was actually the smarter one of the bunch. That's why he's teamed with Sonic, right?
He's a smarter of the duo.
Yeah. And he teams with Sonic, right? I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom teams up with Sonic, and Wade teams up with Knuckles all the same.
Well, here's the thing. Like, when Sonic 1 came out, we saw that Tom and Sonic were the team together. We just never expected Knuckles and Tails to come in Sonic the Hedgehog movie 2. And in movie 2, we just never saw Wade at all. He's just like some random doofus, just it's somewhere in Green Hills. And somehow he pops up again in this movie just to be the protege to Knuckles for some reason.
Yeah, and he becomes one of the main characters of this entire series. It's something like I never expected him to have that prominent of a role in a Sonic project.
No, I never expected that either. But we're going to be talking more about it as we are giving out our first impressions to this TV series. But yeah, my initial thoughts were like, I think this is actually really good because I do like the fact that we're going to have side stories for the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. And I have a feeling this is just because we're setting up for 3. And it's so weird how the shift comes from like first movie, second movie, third movie. First movie, you had Sonic just pop up. Second movie had Tails and Knuckles. Third movie, you're going to have all the events that happened in Sonic Adventure 2. So you're going to see Dr. Robotnik, Shadow the Hedgehog. How about Rogue the Bat? Where does she gotta pop up, you know? Because I would imagine she will pop up. How about Amy Rose? I mean, I would imagine she will probably pop up too, because she was also a part of that movie.
Yeah.
Part of Sonic Adventure 2, yeah.
Yeah, they're bound to pop up. Maybe not as, like prominent roles, but they might appear somewhere like, cameo-wise or something.
Yeah, because like from the way I'm kind of feeling about the Sonic Adventure movies right now, 1, 2, and 3 are probably like the best part of the trilogy. I don't think they're going to make anything more because unless there really is like a better like Sonic Adventure like movie coming out, maybe Sonic Heroes. I don't know if they're gonna make like a 4 with the heroes, that is. But no, I mean from the way I'm seeing it, like I think 3 might be the ultimate one. Just the fact that Shadow is the boss in that one.
Oh yeah, and when we saw Shadow the Hedgehog at the end of Sonic 2, you could tell a lot of people were hyped about it.
Oh yeah, I mean Sonic Adventure 2 was literally the first game that I played that got me into the Sonic franchise, to say. Like, I mean, I played the Sonic Genesis games, but I haven't been so hyped about Sonic since playing 2 because that game was just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played much of Sonic. I haven't played that much of the Sonic game, but I have heard about its popularity. I've heard about its hype, and yeah, to all the Sonic fans who have played, I'm glad you guys had a fun, had a fun experience with it. As for my experience with the Sonic games, I've only played Sonic 1 and 2, but that's really, Oh, and there's this one called Sonic and Sonic Ring game, the Sonic Shadow of the Rings game as well.
7 Rings, right?
The Shadow 7 Rings, yeah.
That wasn't that good of a game.
Like the Sonic Wii game, that particular Wii game, I barely played because that wasn't
that great of a game. I say like after Heroes, that's when the Sonic games kind of took a falter. I never heard of Sonic Boom, but I heard that was okay.
Yeah, Sonic Boom, like I've seen previews of it, and it looked to be decent. I haven't gone around to watching that particular show, but it did look appealing for what I saw.
Yeah, but I don't know. I kind of lost the franchise after Sonic Heroes, to say. Like, after it stopped being on the GameCube, I stopped playing it. Let's just keep it at that. So let's actually talk about the series. We're not going to really go deep into the series. This is just going to be our first impressions, but we do want to say we have watched the first 2 episodes of Knuckles, so this is going to be our first impressions on how we think this show is going to be. So let's actually start off with, well, how do you like the characters? How do you like the looks of Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails? Because Knuckles, by the way, looks kick-ass. We get it. Idris Elba does an amazing Knuckles. But Sonic and Tails were still a part of the movie. Still a part of the show. So how do you like their involvement still being a part of this show?
I like the fact that these character designs of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, they look just as polished here as they do in the movies.
So they do a really good job when it comes to editing and making like those characters look great in the real life TV show itself.
It really does when you consider the fact of how usually TV show budgets are smaller in comparison to movie budgets. So it's really impressive how they pulled it off to make it look fresh, still make it look just as appealing as it did in the movies.
Now in this TV show, we do have, again, familiar characters like we said, Sonic and Tails. We also get to see Tom's wife also be a part of this show as well. And I believe that's the only time we're going to get to see her. So if anything, it does kind of correlate to Sonic the Hedgehog 2 moving into Knuckles, because we get to see that resemblance, right? Do you feel it the same way too?
Yeah, I feel like it's a nice little transition from the second Sonic movie to the series.
Yeah.
Where you get to see Knuckles. Now, Knuckles is still trying to adjust to his new life in Green Hills, like the human world. But it's very hard for him though, because he's not used to this lifestyle.
No. I felt so weird because, like, Knuckles, is an echidna. He lived with the echidnas, but he's now the last of the echidnas. So he, like in the second movie, he tries to, like, kill Sonic or something. And now he befriends Sonic. So in this case, I know he's a freaking warrior, so he wants to, like, continue training, continue to, like, fight people or something. It's I think something echidnas do.
Yeah, the guy makes everything a battle. The guy makes everything, a warrior type thing. Like, I remember there's one scene where Knuckles pretty much turns the part of Tom and Maddie's house into a fighting pit. And
do you ever see that? I kind of don't want to be spoilery again, but there's some sort of references that come up. And I do like the fact that they never actually mentioned the name of the franchise.
Oh, they don't, huh?
They didn't say GOT.
Yeah, they didn't say Game of Thrones. Like, they did say, like, it definitely looked like an Iron Throne. Like, when you look at it, it definitely looked like an Iron Throne.
Yeah, I never hear them mention GOT. So
yeah, I'm surprised they didn't say that. They could have at least.
No, because the thing is, like, no, I know why.
Owned by Warner Bros. Again, like, Game of Thrones, like, under the Warner Media, under by HBO.
But remember that they're Paramount, so if they take that, then HBO is gonna get a lawsuit on them or something.
I mean, they could have just, like, hinted it, not say the exact title of the series, but more so on the lines of, oh, this reminds me of that one medieval fantasy show that we watched or something like that.
I guess, yeah, but no, I mean, you can totally see the resemblance that comes to it. I'm like, there are going to be references here and there when it comes to the show after we've seen these first 2 episodes, and one of them was that throne.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, we're going that route, huh? Are we?
I got flashbacks to that. I got flashbacks to that show.
Some other characters that also did pop up. So we did meet up with these 2 agents. Apparently, they were from Gun, and if you saw the second Sonic the Hedgehog movie, they were now partnered up with Sonic to help, become like a part of the government and protect everything from anything unidentified or anything out from outer space, to say. So these 2 agents actually are backstabbing Gun. They're kind of like rogue agents. They're
corrupt.
They're corrupt agents. They're the ones who work in Gun, but at the same time, they're also working with another mercenary who apparently is stealing Knuckles' hair.
Yeah, because like the mercenary himself wants that power. He wants the,
So he wants to be like strong as Knuckles. Is that like the main point of that story?
That could be the main point of the story, but I think like future episodes will delve into the mercenary's character.
So how are your first impressions on those enemies? Because they're going to be following Knuckles throughout the whole entire show.
I do like the fact that it went with that direction when it came to gun agents, because it's to show how not all gun agents are good. There are some that are corrupt. Like, you know how you have police force and then there are some corrupt cops? Same thing here with gun agents. Like, there are some good eggs and bad eggs.
I don't know. I mean, it was kind of like a big thing that kind of threw me off. I'm like, oh my god, they're gun agents. Oh my god, they're backstabbing gun. Oh wow. And another thing too is a reference towards Sonic Adventure 2, because gun was a big thing too. If you played the game, there's robots always everywhere in the game, and they're all from gun. So that's pretty sick. Anything for Sonic franchise, I would imagine. So there's that. How about Wade Phillips? Because, like, yes, we saw him in Sonic Adventure 1. He's just a random character, looked to be like a doofus. And in this show, he's still a doofus. And he's supposed to be the prodigy of Knuckles. How are you liking that partnership?
It just came out of nowhere. Like, how does, like, that old Echidna, Echidna,
yeah.
The old Echidna mentions to Knuckles that, oh, Wade, this one random ass dude who loves to bowl and is a deputy, the next Echidna. Like, where's the connection? Like, how does that make any sense?
I don't know. But no matter what, I mean, Wade is going to be a partner with Knuckles. And the whole thing about this is about bowling. And I don't understand. Like, he gets kicked out of a team, and now he joins Knuckles, and he wants to be better on a team, and goes to like this championship. What the hell? Because
the reason why they picked the bowling alley in particular is because, well, it's the tournament of champs.
Okay, and another thing too is that one thing I also want to bring up is Knuckles' like ancestors, because they come up and they, like, you know, teach him some words and stuff. And I don't know why they picked him out of all people.
I know. Couldn't there have been some sort of, I don't know, bodybuilder or fighter or something like that?
He is supposed to be a fighter. He's, like, really tough and all. Like, oh my god, he's, like, great.
No, but I meant the next Echidna, who is just as fierce or just as tough as Knuckles himself. Why Wade of all people? Like, oh, it's because we want to focus on Tom's friend, because now that we have Tom's and Sonic bonding, we want Tom's friend and Sonic's friend to bond.
Here's the thing. Remember that it's not all about him. It's about Knuckles. So I don't think the focus is on Wade. I hope it's not the focus on Wade. Remember, it's got to be about the Red King and Knuckles.
If that's the case, they might as well just call Wade the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Wade is just the silly, like, comedy relief in the show, but the main guy is the Red King and Knuckles.
Yeah, I think the reason why they went the direction to go with Wade is because of they wanted to go with this buddy cop duo where you got one serious tough guy of the group of the duo, and then you got this one funny goofy guy of the group. And so I think that's what they're trying to go with. But I'm just saying they would have gone with a different human character.
I think so too. Maybe somebody off the franchise. Should have not been like Wade. Could have been like another person, like in Green Hills, that could have like been a better like fighter to say. But we don't know. But besides that, that was most of the characters that we can explain for now. The mercenary person we don't have much about. I just know he's just a tough guy. How do you feel about the story right now? Because it just feels very weird. Knuckles is helping Wade. Wade is trying to win this tournament of champions down in Reno, and is this how really it's going to be the story? Like in the last episode, we get to see him win the tournament or something.
I want to say I'm optimistic about this because, well, I love Knuckles as a character, but him having his own show, it had potential to work from the get-go. But I feel like this story has a bit of a unfocus to it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if this is actually having a good story. If the story is literally having Wade win something, I don't think it's going to be a good story to me.
It's like, okay, honestly, those are the conversation, like, do you care at all about, have you cared about Wade the character, like, ever since Sonic the Movie 1? Because Sonic the Movie 1, Wade didn't stand out that much.
He didn't even do much. Like, the main focus was Tom and Sonic. That was it.
Yeah, Wade didn't really stand out. Like, he didn't have much moments that made him stand out in the first Sonic movie. So I'm wondering why they went and made Wade a prominent character in the series.
I don't know either, but I just hope that after what goes on in this series that he'll maybe be a big importance in 3. I don't know. It's just something to think about because at the moment right now, I just feel like from the way I saw those first two episodes, I feel like Wade is the focus, but Knuckles is the one who's training Wade to become the better person. But I don't know. It's interesting how the story goes for that. How about the action scenes? Because we do get to see action scenes come in here and there where like Knuckles was fighting those gun agents. Yeah, your thoughts on the fight scenes?
You know, the story leaves a lot yet to be desired, but the action scenes look really cool.
I do like the fact that they have those like what was it, special effects where you get to see like the red thing come out of nowhere, like after a punch, red things comes out or a red explosion pops up, and I'm thinking like, oh my god, Knuckles did it, did he?
Yeah, there's a lot of spectacle. The action scenes were really well done. They were well shot, and the red special effects make it even better because it represents the color of this echidna named Knuckles. But I have a feeling that they're pretty much choosing style over substance.
I think so too. In this case. But I do, like I said, there was only a few fight scenes that we see, and that's one thing that I kind of want to point out. It looked pretty cool, but there could be more fight scenes popping up against these gun agents. Maybe that mercenary that we'll also see with Knuckles. We'll look that up as well. Okay, so how about the silliness that comes to Wade? How are you feeling from those first two episodes? Do you think it might drag on a little bit more? Do you think it might actually ruin the show a bit?
Now Wade's jokes. The other thing is that what Knuckles. The big problem I have with Knuckles is that, you know, while the comedy is all well and good, it's supposed to be a comedy action series. I feel they overdo the comedy a bit much, and like half of the jokes don't even work, especially when it comes to Wade. Like, you know, some of Wade's jokes kind of fall flat.
He literally like dreamt of being a spy agent.
Yeah, and that dream of being a spy agent, I felt it dragged a bit more than it should.
It kind of did. And the thing is, like, when I saw how he was like trying to, like, it is all in his mind, like trying to help Knuckles out, and he does this for like I think 10 minutes. And then when you see the whole action scene that happens, it never came to be. I mean, it will never come to be considering how Wade is.
Like, honestly, I'm just gonna say this: that whole dream of being a spy agent thing, like, dragged on for a bit too long, and it was just to fill up the runner time. Mm-hmm. To fill up the run time. That was the purpose of it.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, I and that's probably one thing that I have to point out about this show. Wade may ruin the show. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, Wade may ruin the show by either A, B, or both. Like, you go like point A is that they're gonna have Wade's character arc heavily outweigh Knuckles' character arc, which defeats the whole purpose of this being a show called Knuckles. And B, they're gonna overdo it with Wade's jokes and all that by making them either unfunny or drag too long.
I really hope that they actually more focus on Knuckles. Like, I think from the first two episodes we saw, Wade was the focus. Like, I saw Knuckles fight, I saw Knuckles get caught, and then Wade was pretty much the whole point of the story, especially in episode 2.
You know how I would have written a Knuckles series, like a legit Knuckles spin-off Knuckles series? Make it a prequel spin-off show to Knuckles during his time with the Echidnas.
Ooh, that would be a good one. Yeah, you're right.
Like, why did they make a Knuckles show about that?
And they had him actually be on Earth helping people out.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know, man. That's what they did, and that's what we have right now on this show. So there's that. One more thing I also want to point out. There are way too many songs in the show. Like, literally, from the first episode, we get to hear Warrior. We get to see, like,
I am
the Warrior. Yeah, that song. We also get to see, like, some big songs in episode 2. And I feel like, why are we implementing these songs? Are we, like... Okay, so... There's a thing about like songs in shows, like it's fine, but putting too much songs, like it doesn't feel good to me, like to hear that.
It doesn't feel focused, and the over reliance on having so many songs kind of takes away from the focus of the story and the characters.
Again, it's just really weird, like because like. I watched the episode. I was focused on what was going on, and it made me lose focus when I hear a song pop up. For example, explosion happened, and very slow song happens while slow motion happens.
It's like, get on with it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And then and then some songs are like, oh, he's doing an action scene and a song pops up. Can we just keep it with the action scene? You know, keep it like with them fighting instead of having a song in the background while they're doing it. Like, I would love to hear the punches. I would love to hear, you know, how they kick ass. Not hear a song about warrior or something. So that's what kind of drags on for me. I mean, like, I feel like at the moment right now for the first 2 episodes of Knuckles, it feels very disorganized. Like, I see the point of the story, like, of how Knuckles is going to be, like, Knuckles helping Wade win this championship, but it doesn't look good. I mean, to me, from those first 2 episodes, it's very mediocre at the moment. Will it get better if we continue watching more of these episodes? I don't know. But it kind of sucks knowing that this is supposed to be the continuation of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And these 2 movies were great, but you're telling me this is a letdown? It kind of sucks because I really do like Knuckles. I played Knuckles in Sonic Adventure 2. He's a great character. And I don't like him being like this kind of like a letdown when you're hearing this show about Knuckles. Yeah.
But thankfully, this is not the last we're going to get of these live-action Sonic the Hedgehog projects. Because when I look at this, I think to myself, think of Knuckles as the appetizer and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 as the main course. You know what I mean?
Okay, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, this is supposed to be a great show about Knuckles. Again, a little bit disappointed here and there. At the moment, I will still try to continue watching this show, but for now, it's been disappointing to me.
Honestly, I think I'm going to say this right now. This may sound harsh, but the reason why Knuckles was even made to begin with was because of how popular Knuckles himself was in the second Sonic movie. I think that was why the series existed in the first place.
No. Oh, and the other thing too, yeah, I understand that. I understand that too. But I do want to give a shout out to Idris Elba. He does an amazing Knuckles voice, by the way.
Oh yeah, one of the best things, if not the best thing about the series, is Idris Elba's voiceover performance as Knuckles. Like he still captures the tough, brooding, and warrior type character that is Knuckles. So he really does capture that voice.
Are you gonna be watching the rest of the show yourself, or are you saying you're done with it?
You know, I don't like to quit a show before it ends. Same thing with I don't like to walk out of a movie before I finish it. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna continue to watch it till the very end, hoping it gets better.
But your thoughts right now on how the show is?
My thoughts right now is that, like, it's off to a rocky start. I'm going to say it's off to a rocky start, but I'm just hoping that it gets better from there.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about one of the best, like, warriors in Sonic the Hedgehog, so I really hope Knuckles ends up becoming a good TV show. But, again, from the first 2 episodes, it doesn't feel that way. But, again, this is just our first impressions. You guys can be the judge yourself. Knuckles is currently airing right now on Paramount+, so go ahead and check that out.
Yep.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. And also, don't forget to check out Knuckles, and especially for the hype of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 coming very soon.
You know what, though? I mean, if anything, I really hope this actually does make a good bridge to Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yeah, I'm especially hoping that the ending of Knuckles somewhat ties into the 3rd movie.
It probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what will pop up. Robotnik will pop up. Broke the Back will pop up.
I think the thing that I'm going to be excited for the most when watching this entire series is, like, the ending and the amount of Easter eggs that will come with it.
Yes. So, oh no, we'll see. Hopefully we get to see more Easter eggs pop up and all that. Yeah. All right. Now, I do want to say this, though. For those who are watching Knuckles, some of you may have been on the part of the subscription for Paramount Plus that had advertisements. And some of you may have noticed that there was an advertisement that popped up that everybody was hyped about. Literally last Friday, everybody was hyped the fact that this certain cartoon is having a brand new movie. So let's talk about it. This is the... excitement. This is the Lighthouse movie. No Time to Spy.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes. We're going to Lighthouse movie.
So first off, we didn't expect this. I never expect this at all. I thought this whole talk about No Time to Spy was actually some sort of rumor stuff, but it turned out to be real. So, when you heard the fact that when you were watching Knuckles, this popped up, your thoughts on the fact that we're having a new movie for Loud House?
It's interesting because I was at work and then I was looking at my Apple Watch because I got a notification and I saw like on your Discord that someone said like, "Oh, it's a new Loud House movie. Let's go! Yes." I'm just like, wait, there's a new Loud House movie? And then during my lunch break, I went and checked the news and I saw. And my eyes did not deceive me. We were actually getting a brand new Loud House movie. I'm so hyped, and this was a pleasant surprise.
I was surprised as everybody else here, because like you were thinking Knuckles. Oh, great! Knuckles was just going to be a show that's on Paramount Plus, and then out of nowhere, I just hear from our sources from Toon Hive, from Cartoon CC, Cartoon Crave, and even Nick at Live. They literally just put up the fact that there's going to be a Loud House movie coming out. So obviously we were all hyped as Loud House fans, and those who are probably watching us right now are probably going to be like, Loud House, yeah, oh my god.
Get hyped, get loud crowd, let's go. This is a victory for us.
It was a huge victory for us. And here's the one thing too, like we've been talking about this, like, oh, we're season 8, oh, where's this or that, oh my god, no new episode of the Loud House. We know why. We may know why they are hyping the hell out of this movie.
Oh yeah, they're building up this movie, and judging by the poster itself, like if you look at the poster itself, like it definitely looks to be like, they got the poster down to make it look like, oh yeah, this is a big summer action flick, we're going there.
This feels very James Bondy to say.
And yes, it actually literally is a summer action flick considering its release date.
So yes, then the title of this Loud House movie is called No Time to Spy. There's a promo for another Loud House movie where it actually focused Lincoln as, well, his favorite spy, David Steele.
David Steele!
Now, he's not alone. He has his family along, and the family also does come along and help him out in his mission, to say. So, when you saw the 30-second trailer, what were your thoughts, impressions on it?
Oh my god, yes! Oh my god, we're gonna see Louds again! Yes, it's been a while! Okay, that was my reaction. But in all seriousness, though, it's actually nice to see Lincoln Loud put on his David Steele type persona because Lincoln Loud, he used to be Ace Savvy, but now he's David Steele. He's moved on to doing spy agent stuff. And I like the fact that we're getting a movie in which it focuses on Lincoln and his fascination with spy stuff.
Dude, he's going to be an actual spy himself this time around. You see him be spies in certain episodes of The Loud House where he, acts as a spy, even starts movies with Clyde as a spy.
Lincoln's birthday. I remember, that was Lincoln's 12th birthday.
Yeah, that's right. But now he's actually going to be a real spy in this vacation-type setting, and this is, again, pretty insane. One thing I want to focus on is that person that's kicking right now. Is that Myrtle? Right? Is that Myrtle?
That is Myrtle, Lincoln Loud's soon-to-be step-grandmother, yes.
So it's so interesting that Myrtle came out of nowhere, and she's actually going to be a main focus of this episode. If you haven't noticed, from this episode called Pop Up the Question, we do get to see the secret life of Myrtle. Apparently, she is a super spy. And it turns out from the way I'm seeing it, her past is going back to haunt her. So what are your thoughts on that part of the story for this episode, for this movie?
This makes me all the more excited for this. This makes me all the more hype. When you consider the fact that this serves as a sequel to Pop Up the Question. What I like about this character arc is that Myrtle being a secret spy agent, it's not just something that is just one random plot point from one episode and then boom, gone forever, as a one-off gag. No. They're actually going to expand upon that character arc. This is actually going to show the return of Myrtle, the super spy, and I'm so excited for it.
She's supposed to be retired from spying. She even says it right there in Pop Up the Question. And what a build out a Sunny line here. Continuity, what's that? Continuity right there. There's continuity right there.
Continuity. There's a continuity, Sunny. There's a continuity. Yes.
And it actually works because it's like, okay, first off, you can't just put Lincoln Loud as a spy randomly in an island somewhere. There has to be some sort of connection. And it makes sense why Myrtle would be that connection, because we know now that she was a spy in her early days. And the fact that she's retired is one thing, because at the moment right now, when we see Myrtle and Pop-Pop, both of them are just retired over at Sunset Canyon. Both of them are just, living their life, pretty much just retired. But you never expect her out of nowhere to come out of retirement and actually become a spy again. And I'm very excited to see how this goes, because we get to see just glimpses of her being a spy and Pop Up the Question. But let's go see how badass she's going to be when in this movie, because it seems like she's going to be pretty cool now.
Yeah, what I do like about this is that it paints Myrtle in a new light. It gives more emphasis to her character. It gives the character more stuff to do. Because let's be honest, when you look at her in the Loud House series, yeah, she is a very nice and sweet grandmother figure to the Louds, but they don't really go much into her character other than she's Pop-Pop's girlfriend and a nice grandmother figure to the Loud kids. Whereas here, however, and also to an extent pop up the question, they actually showed that more sides to Myrtle than that, giving her more full-fleshed personality, making her a more fleshed out character.
Yeah, it definitely does. And again, like we've always seen snippets of Myrtle just being a grandma or just being like the grand to the family. Now I want to see more about her, and here you go. It's about to be popping up for this movie. So again, excited to see how Myrtle will be. There have been more details that have been brought out about the movie. The movie is going to be taking place in Pop-Pop's and Myrtle's wedding, by the way. So they're going to have a wedding, and it's going to be on this random island. So this is an exciting amount of news because Pop-Pop and Myrtle have been together for a long time, and now they're getting married. This means Myrtle will be the Loud Kid's step-grandmother. Your thoughts on them finally getting married here?
Yes, I gotta say congrats to Pop, Albert, and Myrtle for finally tying the knot. Congratulations to them. And I liked seeing the new outfits of these characters.
Yeah, I was going to point that out too. They're actually look. So here's the thing: like they are in an island. I would imagine like, look, they have to change their trip eventually. I am tired of seeing Lori literally in a tank top all the time, or Lenny in that dress, Luann in that outfit, Luna in that outfit. And now we get to see a change in clothes for every character. Like Luna's actually wearing like a polo.
She's wearing Polo and Explorer's hat.
Laura's wearing like a blue and white shirt now this time, and blue and different shorts, which is pretty sick. Lenny's actually looking very fashionable now. Luann is wearing a dress. Lana is wearing a blue polo herself. And again, a lot of people actually are doing some different clothes. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. Lynn is wearing a red polo. Was it Luna's wearing a brown hat? Even was it Lisa's wearing a fedora? there's different types of clothes between all of them, and I think it's going to be a different. I really hope this is a big change for the Louds because they need to change their trip. They have to.
To all the Loud House fan artists, there you go. There's your food. Bon appetit.
So, how do you like the fact that they are going to have a change in clothes of this in this show movie? Sorry,
it's a nice change of fashion, a nice change of pace because it's nice to get a break from seeing the Louds in their regular daily clothes. And as I said before, Loud House fan artists are gonna eat this up.
Oh yeah, they are.
they really are. Like I can see them drawing this right now.
I mean, you saw Ruhi.
I saw Ruhi. Much to no surprise.
I even tagged him like on our Discord. I said to him like, "Yo, draw her now," and he did like literally that in that day.
You know, this would be the very first thing I would imagine Ruhi actually doing once he saw the promo. Like, it was no surprise at all that he immediately got this done after he saw the trailer.
Okay, but besides that, again, the Loud sisters are also being a part of the movie. You get to see them actually be spies with Lincoln Loud too, like. You see Lori sneakily going through guards. You see Lenny trying to run away from those guards. How you like the involvement of the Loud sisters also being a part of this?
I do like how the Loud sisters are pretty much learning the ways of being a spy from Lincoln himself. Like I would imagine throughout the movie, the Loud sisters pick up on Lincoln's spy antics and then following his footsteps. And it also makes Lincoln. It emphasizes how Lincoln is the man with the plan because when you're a spy, you plan everything out, and it's a role that is suitable for Lincoln. And so you see Lincoln lead the pack, lead the Loud sisters to do their tasks. And yeah, I would imagine that with some learning, with some time, they do manage to learn how to pull this off in flying colors.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, what can I say about it? I mean, this looks again like a pretty insane movie, I would say. Okay, so sorry, I forgot the point of the question, but anyways, I do like the involvement of the Loud sisters because the Loud sisters are definitely also a part of the family. If anything, make them actually do more than what they did in the Loud House movie.
Really? I mean, the Loud House movie, they did at least contribute in the climax.
Maybe more than that. In the entire movie of No Time to Spy, you see them literally doing things with Lincoln, like creeping around, making sure that the guards don't see him. That's one thing I saw. Like, if anything, they have to be more involved, and that's what kind of lacked when it came to the Loud House movie. Where are the sisters? I know it's mostly a Lincoln movie, but come on, the rest of the family needs to be involved too.
To be fair, it is pretty hard to write all 12 sisters individually with their own personalities
But Netflix,
in the movie.
you had like a budget. You had like something gratefully impactful that you and Nickelodeon can actually collab with. And again, it didn't seem that way when I saw the Loud House movie.
But yeah, I would definitely agree and say that this could potentially have the Loud Sisters more involved with the film, do more things.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I really hope we get to see more focus on the sisters. Maybe like Lenny doing some fashion gimmicks, Lori being a leader herself and actually help her sisters get through spy missions. Lisa's gonna be the smart one, obviously. Luna doing something to
Luna pulling off like her guitar and then
maybe a sound effect thing.
I want to see that.
Luann putting like the jokes to help the guards slip away. Again, like there's a lot of ideas that come out. And again, we don't have a big trailer, but we only have like 30 seconds of a trailer for the Loud House movie, No Time to Spy. I mean, there gotta be more content, and we're gonna get more of that before the premiere date that will come out soon.
30 seconds of utter hype.
Yeah, I know. Either way, I mean, I'm still hype. I mean, I get to see Lincoln get hit by a tranquilizer dart. That was one thing.
Yeah, tranquilizer dart. That's also another thing. They actually have legit new spy weapons in this movie.
Yeah. So here's the thing, like Lincoln is going to Lincoln is going to fulfill his dream of being David Steele. I mean, that's something to be proud about. And again, I do like it where there is continuity when it comes to the TV show. Again, Loud House movie, you didn't actually show that. So it kind of tells me like, oh, this is just a side story of the Loud House movie. So when we look at No Time to Spy, I'm assuming this is actually a continuation thing, that we get to see Myrtle become a spy. Maybe Lincoln can finally fulfill his dream as being David Steele. Loud Sisters are finally having a change of trip, and I hope in the upcoming season 8, there is going to be a season 8, and I have a feeling there is going to be one after this movie. We are going to see them change their trip. Like, we can totally see Lori in that new outfit. You can see Lenny without that dress, maybe in that new outfit that she has. Luann in that dress, which is very pretty, by the way. Luna in that purple polo. Lynn in that red polo. Things of that. Things that will make changes when it comes to future Loud House episodes.
And I would imagine Lincoln Loud will learn the ways of being a spy himself by Myrtle.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, I would imagine there'd be sort of like, teacher-apprentice relationship going on between the two of them.
I would want that, and I really do like their bond, right? I really do like the bond that they're going to have right now, because I remember when we first saw Myrtle wasn't the greatest impression out of everybody, because she was trying to be like the best grand, and she actually annoyed the hell out of those kids.
Yeah, Instagram, it was off to, we were off to a rocky start with Myrtle. Let's be honest here. As much as we like Myrtle, her first episode wasn't the best.
No, it wasn't, because it just shows that this may be an annoying character. But as we continue on with more episodes of Pop Up and Myrtle, it turned out that more and more things are coming to mind that makes me think Myrtle's going to be a great character. She roomed with Clyde's grand too. And again, more things that came up. And I just love the fact that literally like the last time we heard about Myrtle, it was Pop the question. So there's that.
Yeah, and this episode is going to delve more into this. I'm really glad.
I can't wait. I mean, I really, but the thing right now is that I know that we don't have a trailer yet. I'm pretty sure the trailer will come out in the next upcoming weeks. And once we have that, we're going to explain that obviously as well. But at the moment, first impressions wise, this will be amazing. I feel like this will be a continuity to the Loud House TV show. Maybe a little bit better than the Loud House movie. Maybe more better than the Loud House movie, to be fair.
Well, would it go that far?
I'll probably say so. If you're talking about like something that will continue on to season 8 of the Loud House, then yes, I would say so.
I mean,
I don't see Scott. I don't see Scott anymore.
we are going to wait to see on that. Like, there are some things that this movie is going to do better than what the Netflix Loud House movie did, and vice versa. And when we review the Loud House with this Loud House movie, we'll do a little compare and contrast, see which is better.
No, man, we're really gonna do that? Oh my god, it's gonna take a long.
It's not going to be long. It's going to be very brief.
Well, no matter what, I feel like they're doing a great job when it comes to the Loud House movie. They're working it in house. They're not actually working with Netflix when it comes to this film. They are literally working in house in Nickelodeon Animation with Paramount Plus.
Yeah, no, this is
And
purely a
this,
Nickelodeon project.
I think, would be successful because it's a Paramount Plus property. Plus, Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus work together. It's not like Netflix and Nickelodeon or anything.
Yeah, no, Nickelodeon is working, like you said, under their house. Like this is purely Nickelodeon project.
Yeah, and I like it because I just feel like they have everybody all there together, and it will all work together. I think. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Same here, and I feel that with them writing this Loud House movie, look at the way how it looks and the promo and all that stuff, and all that stuff. I think we're going to be in for one awesome
We're
time.
definitely in for one big treat coming up for us Loud House
One
fans.
big summer action flick. One big summer action flick.
Indeed, we are. Indeed. Anything else you want to bring up from this movie?
Yes. All we got to say is that we can't wait for June 23rd.
Yeah, that's right. We did. As of this recording, we finally found out the date. It will be coming out June 23rd. In Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus.
June 23rd. June 23rd.
Mark your dates, Loud Crowd. Oh my God.
Let's
We're
go.
hyped. Loud House. No Time to Spy. A brand new movie. We never expected it, but I love it. Let's see Lincoln become David Steele.
We're getting it, baby. Yes. David Steele.
All right. Well, I mean, I can't wait. Really, it's just going to be exciting to see that.
Yes.
All right. Now, let's go on to the main story that we have to... let's go on to the main topic that we have today in today's episode. A couple of days ago, people from Reddit and 4chan started to actually find out that somebody has been leaking out a lot of information from Disney TVA. Some of these included pitch Bibles, pitch videos, and these actually came at a really bad time, knowing the fact that some of these shows have been done, some of these shows are currently in progress. If anything, this may be a gold mine for all fans of Disney TVA, but at the same time, this could be a bad reputation to the company.
So it's a gold mine, but at the same time, it's a dirty gold mine.
Yes. So, if anything, this doesn't sound like a great thing for Disney TVA, but what we've got was, again, a gold mine for us fans. So, for the rest of this podcast, we want to actually break down on what the pilots actually showed, what the Bibles were going to explain, and if this would actually work, if it was actually going to be better than the regular show that came out on Disney Channel.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little like description, compare, contrast, and just a look as to what could have been originally.
So let's actually started off with, well, everybody's favorite Disney Channel show because it came out in 2012, but in 2010, the pitch did come out and we did see a pilot episode of Gravity Falls. Now, Gravity Falls, we already saw, I mean, some of you guys already saw the pilot like many years ago, and the pilot did show Dipper and Mabel. Again, Dipper with the blue hat and the pine tree. You see Mabel with the sweatshirts. And Grunkle Stan that has the same outfit as Grunkle Stan as always. But again, they look differently compared to what we saw in Gravity Falls TV show. So when you saw the pilot and the regular show, obviously, what did you feel was like different compared to like the regular show?
What I felt was different was that there were some scenes that were different. There were some jokes that were in the original that weren't in the final project itself. Like, for example, I never forget the Grampers joke.
I never got that either.
You remember the Grampers joke where
yeah.
Grunkle Sam's like, I've been in this business ever since you wore diapers. And the Dipper's like, but you wear diapers too.
No.
That was the original. That wasn't in the final draft.
Right. One thing also is that they did bring up the gnomes again. The gnomes were still the enemies. The gnomes also made that fake boyfriend that Mabel dated back in the first episode.
It's still the same story. It's still the same plot.
I don't think there was much of a big difference. All I cared about was like the character design because first off, Dipper didn't have his like vest. He only wore a red shirt, and he wore the red shirt throughout the show. If that continued on, apparently the bottomless pit was an attraction. Did you see that? Yeah.
Yeah, it was an attraction. Like, whereas in the final draft, the bottomless pit was bottomless.
Well, no, the bottomless pit was not an attraction. Bottomless pit was just found. Like,
yeah.
Like no tourist was able to see it until Grunkle Stan saw it. So that bottomless pit was not a attraction or anything.
Yeah, so the bottomless pit here was written differently than in the final draft.
Right. More things to actually see from the pilot. I don't remember actually.
I want to say one thing is that there are actually more mysterious creatures that we've seen in the original pilot that we haven't seen in the actual series itself. Like, for example, I never forget those creepy twins.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that. That's right.
Why did they bring the creepy twins into the final project? They had potential.
I have a feeling it's just because of that Shining reference, you know? Come play with us, Dipper and Mabel. Come play with us.
Come on. Gravity Falls has brought out really scary and freaky stuff, okay? We never forget the submarine trickster.
That one too, yeah. That one's also a pretty neat one too. But that wasn't a part of their pitches either. I think it just came out of nowhere.
So bringing out, scary monsters that reference horror movies, isn't really too out of the norm for the show.
No, it's not really too normal. I would imagine they would actually have more like crazy characters to come out. I also did remember that Wendy, from the pitch Bible, according to what they've said, Wendy was actually supposed to be black-haired, not a redhead.
Yeah, and also, Zeus was originally going to be called Jesus.
Jesus.
But
the character design was still there, by the way.
The character design was still there, but they changed the name. They shortened the name, and I'm glad it did because Zeus is a more unique name to give to the character.
I think it's more of a nickname to Jesus, you know? They think of Zeus, because I don't hear anybody saying their kid's name Zeus or anything. So I'm assuming, like, their mom just said Zeus instead of his real name, Jesus.
Yeah, the only time they want to reference, Zeus or give them Zeus is to name them after a thunder god.
So I remember in the pilot that they actually did show off the antagonist. One of them was Robbie V, which makes sense. Robbie was kind of an antagonist, but then he did warm up to being part of the group, to say.
Yeah, it was thanks to Love God. It was thanks to Love God and his relationship with Tamriel that made him a more warm character.
Right. There was also Gideon, and he looked different compared to what we saw in the final draft.
He had a blonde wig, like
a wig.
In the original, like he had yellow hair, whereas in the Gravity Falls actual show, his hair was white.
Yeah, but here's the thing: like he felt like he was an antagonist. The fact that he literally punched like Dipper, Mabel, and was it Grunkle Stan's picture on the ground, like. He still had that mission to take over the Mystery Shack, which happened in the season 1 finale. If y'all remember that, by the way.
Oh yeah, that season 1 finale was just really epic.
Deputy Durland and
Sheriff Blubbs.
Yeah, Sheriff Blubbs.
Sheriff
Both
Blubbs
of them
and
were
Durland.
also named as antagonists. And then one person that wasn't actually listed on the Bible was Pacifica Northwest. So she was an original character that popped up literally in the final draft.
Wow,
Yeah.
so Pacifica was a last-minute addition.
Yeah, she was last-minute addition. Like, I had a feeling like they didn't put more character emphasis on Mabel. So they were saying, like, why don't we give Mabel a antagonist that is, like, total opposite of what Mabel is. Mabel's happy and bright, while Pacifica is snotty and bratty.
Yeah, and thankfully they made Pacifica more likable in season 2, especially. Now going back to Sheriff Blubbs, Deputy Durland, they were at one point antagonists in the actual show too. Remember Irrational Treasure?
Yeah, I remember that. Like they like kept the kids hostage. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
But then again, they were just cops in Gravity Falls. They were just like they're just like random characters, like kind of like what Robbie V was until Robbie actually started to like get angry at Dipper. Mm-hmm. You know, Durland and Blubbs, both of them at least warmed up to Gravity Falls, the TV show, and we still ended up having them become something very pivotal in the end of the show.
They got better. Oh
yeah,
and they're in love.
They're canon. Even launching a cannon. Anything else for the Gravity Falls pitch versus the final draft? I don't think I have much, actually.
Yeah, one thing to point out is notice how Grunkle Stan, like his character design is a bit different because like he has the white hair.
Everybody's character design was different. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Dipper didn't have the best. Mabel still is Mabel with the sweatshirt. I don't think there was much change when it comes to Mabel Pines, though. And again, the animation did change. It wasn't this designs of Gravity Falls. It looked like the character design was different. It looked like to be much more brighter. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do like how throughout the show they made Mabel wear like all these unique and colorful sweaters. They don't just stick with the
But
one.
I know. That's her
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
she just changes her sweater.
That's what I like about it. It's just not it's because usually like cartoons tend to have characters like dressed in one outfit. I'm glad they didn't go that way with Mabel.
Right. So if anything, Gravity Falls, we did end up getting the final project, but what if it actually was like this? I would say maybe it was better for the changes. There really was much of a difference. I would say the changes wouldn't really matter when it comes to the final product that came out for Gravity Falls.
While there were some things that I wish that would have transitioned from the original to the final project, again, like I said, where are the creepy twins? The creepy twins got robbed. There were a lot of things that was quite a upgrade. It was a boosted upgrade, including the animation, the additional characters, and all that kind of stuff.
I would say, like, for Gideon, the Gideon one in the pilot looks much older compared to the Gideon that we saw in Gravity Falls.
And I think that's what they were trying to go with because they want to portray like the main villain of Gravity Falls. Well, I mean, aside from the Triangle Menace we get later on, like the main antagonist is this Weedle kid, but don't be fooled by his presence. He actually is much more threatening than he looks.
Right.
They go with that sort of thing.
Yeah. Again, this could have been more stuff that happened in the pilot, but again, we did have an episode, we did have a Bible. And there was a lot more that got revealed when it comes to it, but either way, the final product did come out for Gravity Falls, and it still ended up becoming a good show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely amazing, like the journey that it went through. To be like, we go from this to Weird Again Part 3. It's beautiful.
So that's Gravity Falls. They did, like I said, leak out something that I never expected to see from Disney TVA. So let's move on to another show that we all love, Amphibia. Now, I want to say that there was a lot of changes when it came to Amphibia, knowing the fact that this pilot was absolutely different compared to what we saw in the final product. First off, oh my god, who are these folks?
No, who is her in the middle? Because I don't recognize her as Marcy.
That is not Marcy. That looks more like Peppermint Patty. Oh no, Peppermint Patty.
No, that looks more like a punk rock Peanuts character.
No,
it's a punk rock Peanuts character.
So I was so weirded out because, like, if this was how the original character designs of Amphibia was going to be, and never changed, while Marcy and Sasha did change a bit. You get to see Sasha's ponytail, that's one thing, but Marcy changed a lot. Like, this is not slick hair. You have spiky hair. She looked more of a punk compared to the wholesome, like, lovable Marcy that we know.
Yeah, you never would imagine, Marcy as this like punk rock girl here. She's more like a fantasy loving nerd type girl, if anything.
So I saw the pilot, and I just remember, like, the first thing that came up was, Anne stealing the box. And I didn't expect Sasha to actually open the box. I thought it was Anne that actually opened the box, but
yeah, and I think that was a nice change of pace to make it so where Anne opens up the box instead. Because if you remember, like, Anne is the type of girl who is being pressured into not just stealing the Calamity box, but also opening it up because, well, it is a birthday present to Anne, and it's more fitting for Anne to open up the box as a way of saying, yeah, this is our protagonist, and yeah, this is her birthday.
I don't think we actually hear that it was Anne's birthday during that time. I think they just stole something from a thrift shop.
Okay, I think this was before they came up with the idea as to why the Calamity box was stolen in the first place.
But it's weird. I just see it like Anne just going into the thrift shop. It is what happened in the second episode of Amphibia. We get to see how Anne ended up going into Amphibia. Or in the pilot's case, Amphibialand. That was the regular title for that, by the way.
I'm glad they shortened it out because, Amphibialand, not only is it too long of a title, but just adding land there just seemed a bit unnecessary.
No, I don't think so. Well, here's the thing. Amphibia is a type of frog, a type of reptile, while Amphibialand is a land. So maybe they kind of did something here and there, but when it comes to Amphibia, it makes sense. Kind of makes it better off the tongue compared to having land in it.
Yeah, Amphibia just sounds more smooth as a title.
Yeah, it's simpler. It's simpler, and it worked out. Yeah. Thank you, Matt Brawley, for that.
Also, notice how Marcy has those dot eyes as the first draft.
You're right.
And I want to point this out because there was at one point in First Temple in which Marcy plays chess, and then and during the temple, Marcy plays chess with this, in this one challenge, and then when she loses this game of chess, Marcy looks at it and then she's like, with the dot eyes, like she's surprised. And I think to myself, okay, there was definitely a reason why they added the dot eyes in that scene, is to pay homage to its early draft.
Maybe that, I don't know, but I just was like so funny. I was just laughing the fact that like Marcy just got defeated by that.
Yeah,
that guy is cheating.
It makes the dot eyes all the more sense. It makes it all the more sense.
Oh man, so yeah, Marcy's original design would have had her she had the hair clip. That was one thing, but she would have had spiky hair instead of like a smooth, like something with shampoo. I don't know.
It kind of makes me think if she would dye her hair too, like dye her hair green or something.
No, would you want that?
Make it part green, because punk rock kids usually tend to dye their hair any color.
I don't think there's going to be green hair. She probably will still have the black hair, if anything. But all I cared about was the fact that, like, oh my god, she had spiky hair. What was she, a brat? Oh, was she like a punk? Some more things that came up from the Amphibia pilot. We get to see Anne meet up with this little frog named Weed. First off, the name of the character would have been Weed, not Sprig, by the way.
And I'm just gonna say this right now. Thank Frog that they changed the name to Sprig, because you don't want a cute frog cartoon character named after something you smoke.
Right, that's a thing too. But no, the thing is, like, it's weed. It's supposed to be like the weeds that come from the grass or something. Maybe they're just referencing that, not like a smoking thing.
No, but even at that, you could have named your character after any other type of
I was kind of wondering, like, what was Matt thinking when actually naming that character first off Weed? Matt, were you smoking that when you were making the pilot?
Matt, smoking that frog and toad pack.
Get that green.
Smoking that green pack. He was smoking that green pack, yo.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we do. The one things that we get from this pilot is that Anne did meet up with Sprig, and then both of them did have adventures. I think there was this adventure where I think this chicken was like attacking the town or something, and Sprig and Anne. Oh, sorry. Weed and Anne. I can't say. God. I gotta be saying that.
I'm not used to calling him Weed. I'm sorry. I'm not used to calling him Weed.
I'm gonna say Weed and Anne. Both of them actually rescued, was able to at least scare the chicken off, but did get in trouble by Hop Pop because they didn't do their chores. But we do get to see, in the pilot, that Weed and Anne both of them are they're both great friends, and again, Anne becoming a troublemaker because she just feels like she doesn't know what she's thinking. But this is what Anne was in season 1. Like, she would do a lot of daring things without thought.
They even said in the actual draft itself that she doesn't pay attention. She even says out loud.
I know, she doesn't pay attention, and it's like, okay, ADHD representation, which is, I guess, but I think some people are kind of over asphyxiated with it. But yeah, I mean, the storyboards did pop up with whatever that pilot episode was. I do want to actually bring up this part here where they actually did fully animate it. If anything, Anne never changed. Anne still had the bushy hair with the leaves on it. She still had her uniform on.
She still had the shoe. She
has her shoe, but then one of her shoes is actually broken.
Yeah, so instead of her shoe being missing, one of her shoes is actually broken.
Yeah, so again, she has both shoes, but again, in the pilot, she has both, but you saw in the regular show, she only had a shoe with a sock. Yeah, so that's that. Sprig is different. Sorry, Weed is different. He does have the scarf. Well, no. So Sprig's supposed to have the goggles and a vest. Weed has the scarf and clothes on. So,
and also Weed is a much more round character than Sprig, weight wise.
I guess maybe
he looks
more bubbly. He's supposed to be like a frog, to say. Hop Pop never changed. Polly never changed. We also did get to see a bit of Mr. Croaker, which had changes, by the way. She is an old frog, but the way that she was designed in the pilot looked different. She did have a pet spider, like you saw in the regular show. Mm-hmm. And then one thing I also want to bring up, this man was not voiced by Justin Feinberger. Justin was actually not voicing Weed in this case. It was some other guy. So if they actually ran the regular pilot, then we would have had this guy become the voice of Weed or Sprig. And that would have been different, right? If you actually heard him voice the whole Amphibia show.
I noticed that the voice actor for Weed, he had a bit of a deeper voice than Sprig.
Are you sure? A little bit higher to say.
Or a little higher.
Yeah, I would say higher, just because he sounds like Jack McBrayer. In my case, he's not Jack McBrayer, but she kind of does sound like him a bit, right? You kind of
sort of.
You kind of feel like
there is a difference between the two voices.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like, the way that Weed was talking kind of felt very Jack McBrayer-y to say. Yeah,
it kind of did.
Yeah. So when you saw the animated version of it, your thoughts on it? Because it feels like they did so many different changes when it comes to the animated version of the pilot to what we saw in the regular show.
Yeah, I would say that there are noticeable changes when it comes to the name and the character design, but other than that, most of the characters did look the same, but there are some characters that did have an upgrade when it comes to character name and design.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they had to change the name to Sprig. I get it. Good job, Disney, for blocking that down.
And thank Fox for that.
One other thing I also want to bring up, because this was actually pointed out in the Bible, Marcy did actually meet up with other frogs, and like in her Bible it said like Marcy and company, so she did meet up with other frogs in a different land, and she was like wearing some sort of like mage cap or something, so she was actually like welcoming to the locals, like what you saw in Amphibia season 2, where you saw Marcy at the gates. Marcy was absolutely had a warm welcoming when it came to the newts over there.
Yeah, specifically newts. Like Marcy met up with the newts specifically.
No, I know, but that's not newts. Like it says Marcy and company, so I don't even know what frogs they were like that she was hanging out with. I don't know if it's newts, it could be frogs, it could be toads, I don't know. She was dealing with a company. Either way, like Marcy would have been like a different character compared to what we saw. She's a mage, she's playing guitar, she's not one of those warriors that actually has a crossbow. So Marcy would have been different in Amphibia.
Marcy playing guitar. I like that idea.
Marcy would be different. Sorry, Marcy would be different in Amphibialand than Amphibia. Put it that way.
Like Marcy would have been like the Luna Loud of Amphibialand.
And then also early concepts also saw that Anne Boone Choi actually was not going to be dressed up like that. She would actually be dressed up in like homeless wear, to say. Like, did you see like the first look of like what Anne would have been like in drags, like scratched up clothes and stuff?
Yeah, like disheveled or something.
Yeah, something like that. But I'm glad that she actually kept her uniform when it comes to the final project.
Yeah, because like her new outfit is more appropriate, more suitable for a teenage girl like Anne.
And also, like Anne had longer hair in the Bible, from what I'm seeing too.
Oh yeah, she did have longer hair, and from what I remember, Anne's hair was originally blue.
Yeah. What's it blue? I don't know.
Like in one of the drafts, it was.
I remember it being dark. I don't think she actually had the blue powers out yet.
I'm not saying she had the blue powers out yet, but I'm just saying like her hair color might have been different from what I've seen in one of the illustrations.
And then we have to actually talk about Sasha, because according to what the Bible says, Sasha apparently was married to Grime. Yeah, that was
that is the freakiest thing to come out from the Bible.
That was on the Bible.
Freakiest thing
apparently that actually was a thing. Apparently Sasha was betrothed to Grime. Grime would have been like Sasha would have been like the queen of the toads. If that actually went through with the show, it would have been freaky. It would have been. Yeah. Maybe it's a good thing that they actually made the changes.
I am so glad, because Sasha and Grime really do work much better as a father-daughter figure trio.
Well, they weren't father-daughter before. If you remember the pilot, like the same thing did happen, where like Sasha did get captured by the toads, and she was in jail for like who knows how long. Yeah, I still don't get like how Sasha would end up becoming like the queen of the toads or something.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see her become Queen of the Toads, but at the same time, how it was written in the final project was better handled.
I would say great job that you guys did up doing that, because I would not love Sasha. And I think, FYI, she would have been the antagonist. She would have not been Marcy would have not been the antagonist, not the Darcy that we know. Sasha would have been the antagonist, because we also did see that she ended up having green eyes.
It's Dasha. It's Dasha. It's Dasha, everyone. We have Dasha, Dark Sasha.
Okay, so look, there you have the red moon behind you, and I have a feeling like she was possessed, and it was Sasha that actually ended up being possessed, and it leads to actually having Sasha become the antagonist of the show, not Marcy at all. So your thoughts? What would you think if Sasha ended up becoming the enemy?
You know, I'm going to say this. I'm not opposed to Sasha, like, being an enemy, being an antagonist, but having a concept in which Sasha would end up like having these dark guys become like a dark version of a Calamity Girl. I feel like this is like a bit too early in comparison to what the original show did, having in season 3 with Darcy.
Well, here's the thing, like, I don't think there's going to be like a scene like True Colors like that will happen. It's more of like Sasha definitely would be rolling over Amphibia. She's definitely the antagonist. And here's my thoughts if it actually went this way. And Boon Choi would have to find Marcy. She would find Marcy in like a place called Newtopia or something. Both of them will work together to fight Sasha. Sasha would actually I have a feeling like there will not be no stabbing. I hope not. Sorry, Marcy, but
no Marcy, no stabbing this girl.
What will happen is that like somehow the portal will open. Like I think Sasha will have the box will open. Sasha and Marcy, Anne and Marcy will both go in. They'll go back to LA while Amphibia starts to get destroyed. That means Anne and Marcy will do whatever it takes to get back to Amphibia, save Sasha, and then all three of them will get back into LA. So that's my kind of story of how it'll be. And I kind of feel like some of y'all were thinking, oh, Marcin movements. Hey!
Yeah, I think that's one thing that the original has over the actual final project. More Marcin. This has more Marcin than the actual show.
Here's the thing. Like, if they were going to deal with the whole storyline about Sasha and... if they were going to deal with the storyline of Anne and Marcy together, like, they were childhood friends. They met up with Sasha, like, years later. So, I would love the fact that, like, these two BFFs or, could work together to save a frog world. Yeah, I mean, I would be down to see what this Marcin, like... moment would be. This would be sick. Like if they have Marcy and Anne like work together to stop Sasha and stuff.
At the same time, though, like what the original lacks that the actual show improved upon is Sasha herself. Because it shows how, like the original show, like the final project showed how, like, Sasha doesn't have to be possessed or doesn't have to be dark Sasha to be antagonistic. She can still be antagonistic just by her toxic traits as herself.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But I mean, still, like, something tells me like if they were gonna run with the pilot, Sasha is going to be the leader of being the antagonist of the group. Like Marcy and Anne are both like innocent. Anne was literally innocent for stealing that box. Sasha pretty much led them to do it, and then Sasha just becomes the enemy. But one thing too is the whole possession part. I feel like Sasha can actually have a change of heart if no frog can possess her. And from the way I'm seeing it, oh god, she is Dasha. So
hey Darcy.
Oh ew.
You got competition.
Out of here. Get that thing out of here.
It's your longtime friend, right? Your Dasha. I would imagine it was BFFs.
No, get that thing out of here. Oh my god, that cockroach never comes around here.
She's my cockroach.
Ew. Why would you want to keep a pet cockroach? Ew. Ew.
She's still my Marmar, though. She's still my Marmar.
Okay, well, no matter what, I mean, this would have been what would have been for Amphibialand. Like, you would have Sasha as the antagonist. Marcy would be somewhere out there. We never see a thing about Marcy. And I would imagine second season we'll have her. Anne is fine in Wartwood. We'll have a new character named Weed. And again, the Planters will still be the Planters. Like, they're still a family. They're just roaming around Wartwood and all that jazz.
Yeah, in terms of the Planters in general, not much would change.
I think one thing I have to change, though, is, well, again, the Red Moon was the big thing, which, yeah, it was an Amphibia. One thing I also want to change up is, can you change the sky? It looks green. It kind of feels polluted. It's a good thing they changed it to blue, if anything. It's like, oh, clean skies. Hey, it's beautiful out here.
Yeah, green is not a natural color when it comes to sky color.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they changed it to blue because, yeah, green, it would have definitely been like, everyone get your gas masks,
Yeah. I guess Amphibialand is just mostly like green. I mean, look, they're frogs. They like green. They go in green lily pads. They like green grass. So, and they're mostly green too.
Even so, not everything has to be green.
No, I understand. Yeah. But so, did you like the final work compared to the pilot?
Yes, I did. I feel like, much like with Gravity Falls, it improved on most parts. While there were like one or two key aspects of Amphibialand that, that has over Amphibia itself, I feel like Amphibia, with its story, characters, animation, it was quite a upgraded boost.
If Amphibialand actually did come to fruition just like this, I would actually be hooked as well. and being the great antagonist, great protagonist that she is, I can see myself liking Weed a lot. Don't take it out of context, by the way.
If Amphibialand ever does come out like as a legitimate series, I'd be curious to see how that would be.
Again, I still want to see how Sasha would be if she's going to be the real antagonist of the show. Like, oh, that would be sick.
Punk rock Marcy. No,
I think Marcy would be a nice person. I don't know.
like punk rock Marcy is someone.
She definitely would be different compared to what we saw Marcy back in Amphibia. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that side of Marcy.
Yeah. So if anything, I think in my case, I would love both, but I absolutely love. Like, I would love both, but I actually like Amphibia. Amphibia was definitely an amazing show. So.
Well, yeah, Amphibia is like one of the best, not just one of the best Disney shows, one of the best cartoons ever made.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was just Amphibia, but we do have a couple more shows that we also want to bring out. One of them is The Owl House. Now let's actually talk about the pilot because it's absolutely different compared to the first episode of it.
Already the first frame, like you could tell that this is an actual different series with the Owl House name in it.
No. So here's the thing: like, when you first see the Owl House, you get to see the story of Luz, like doing a report or something, and you saw it in the first episode of the Owl House, where you get to see Luz literally just play with her dolls, play with Azura, and does a line like, "I am a great Azura, the witch of the Isles," or something. And now eat this sucker. Yeah, now eat this sucker. And it happened in the first episode of the Owl House. But one thing that came up to mind was, in the final draft, it was in a principal's office. This was in a classroom.
Yeah.
And another thing too was that Luz was with her mom in the principal's office, but Luz is with Amity in the classroom.
And Luz ends up getting teased a lot by her fellow students. That we didn't see any of that in the original show, thank God. But we saw this in the first draft. We can't help but feel bad for her.
But I'm so surprised. Like, this is the first interaction of Lumity. Like, Luz and Amity would have met literally in the first episode. Not episode 4, not episode 5. Literally in the first episode. And we get to see those lovebirds. Well, it's not more the lines of lovebirds because, like, Amity felt very jerky in that pilot.
Yeah, Amity, you could argue that Amity was more of a jerk in the original pitch pilot than she ever was in season 1.
Because she burnt up Luz's drawing. Oh, who would do that?
My God. That burnt up picture, that just screams rejection.
Oh, and the other thing, too, is, like, she was the popular kid in both Human World and the Demon Realm. So you get to see, like, Amity, like, what was it? She's just walking in the human world, and then, like, Luz comes out of nowhere, gives her the drawing. That was it. And we do get to see the secret of what Amity is. She is a demon, but she goes... sorry.
She's a witch.
She's a witch. Sorry. She's a witch, and what happens is that she uses a portal herself. She has a portal.
Yeah.
Not Ida.
Yeah, she actually has herself in which she can easily transport to Boiling Isles.
Yeah. So she ends up getting the portal, not Ida, I believe. Or maybe no, Ida does, but the thing is, like, she ends up just getting human stuff for her shop, which showed up in the pilot too, by the way. So yeah.
And so after Amity goes to the Boiling Isles,
to see the whole things that happened in episode 1, where we get to see what was it? Luz just seeing the Boiling Isles. And then one thing also that comes up for the Boiling Isles, apparently they don't like humans.
Yeah.
Like, if they see a human, they might eat her. Into Ida's, like, human store. And the same things happen in episode 1, where we get to see Ida look up, like, show Luz a box. And that turned out to be a TV. She puts in batteries. The show comes up. Everybody likes it. Guard comes in and tries to steal. Tries to capture Ida and Luz and all that. And then another thing too is that the Owl House was actually called the Owl Shop. Do you remember that? Or
the Owl Shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might as well call this show the Owl Shop instead. Not just kidding.
No. And they have an underground dungeon that's apparently the Owl House. And we get to see King. King was the same old king that we get to see. So, like, he turns out being, like, really, like, a monster, but at the same time, he's the same adorable king that we know.
And then Luz, like, the way she's like, oh, he's so adorable. That's also in both the original and the episode 1.
And then this thing also changed from the first episode because Luz would actually go to Hexside to find Amity and give back that passport. And this is where we get to see a different character that we know from this show. We all love her, but in this pilot, I don't think we're gonna mess with her. That's Lilith, out of all people.
Yes.
So your thoughts on Lilith? Because, oh my God, she was not someone you want to mess with.
she's just standing there, menacingly. Okay, in all seriousness, though, Lilith, oh my gosh, she looks so threatening. She looks so intimidating. Like, oh my god, like you could argue like Lilith looks more evil-like here than she ever did in the show. Even with her antagonistic role in the actual show, like she was nothing compared to like this version of Lilith in terms of evilness.
No, like literally, like if you go on her bad side, which happened because Ida kept on teasing on Lilith, you get to see a demon side of Lilith that you don't want to mess with because, oh my god, it was messed up.
From the eyes, like you see like these death glare eyes, and then you see like the finger pointing at you. It's like if you mess with her, she's gonna get you. She's gonna turn you into something.
She even points out the fact that Ida's her sister. So, oh my god, like the whole scene of them like being chased by Lilith was one thing, and then like the portal was another thing too. So, according in the end of the pilot, Lilith did get trapped in the human world, while Luz gets trapped in the demon realm.
Yeah, so you're gonna see what the Owl House original concept would have done is I think that it would have had Lilith be like they would have if they were to give Lilith episodes, like they would have her be like focus on her in the human world. I think.
I feel like this would have been like the perfect setting for the Owl House, but the thing is, like, Amity still would. It just was surprising the fact that Lumity would have happened in the first episode. Like you get to see Luz love Amity. Both of them would have been like a couple there, but then we get to see a very jerky side of Amity, which I was like, oh my god, no, this can't be right.
Yeah, honestly,
she literally burned her picture of them together.
After that, I was just like, okay, no, Amity doesn't deserve Luz. Luz deserves so much better.
Lilith is absolutely like a big monster. Again, we don't see much of the other characters like Gus and Willow, or even Emperor Bellows. But from this pilot, it feels like it's got more unhinged compared to the first episode of the Owl House.
Yeah, I think that the original concept of the Owl House, they pretty much go all out with its dark concepts, and especially with Lilith.
I think like this would be a really amazing show to watch if Disney Channel actually allowed that kind of content. Maybe put it to Amazon Prime next time.
Yeah,
Owl House would have been Owl House regular concept would have been like great for Amazon Prime or Netflix show of anything.
I don't know whether it was due to studio mandate or anything like that.
No, but like either way, they still ended up having like a great first episode of the Owl House. Like I still enjoyed the first episode. It was a great way to introduce us to Ida, Luz, and King. We didn't get Amity in the first episode, unfortunately, but if we get to see Amity in the first episode and it's going to be like this Amity, I don't think I want to mess with her. She kind of feels like the Sasha that you see when you first saw her. So
yeah, no, it's like the way Amity was written in the actual show, it makes me think, yeah, that was definitely a boost, like definitely a huge upgrade for the character.
So would you like to watch the pilot more? Like if they went to the Owl House side and the pilot's ways more, or did you want to watch it in the regular show? Like regular show felt more tame versus what I think was if we went to the pilot route would actually be a little bit more unhinged.
Yeah, as much as I adore the regular show, again, Owl House, one of the best cartoons ever made, love it to death. I'd be interested to check out the pilot route.
I really kind of do want to check out the pilot route. I kind of want to see what will Lilith do. The fact that she's in the human world, is she going to be destroying people?
Yeah, let's just say that the human world, the planet Earth, is doomed.
So that means Luz may be going into a world where her mom might be back. No, don't say that. No.
Spoiler alert, Lilith. No, I'm not going to say
No, don't say that. No. All right. But yeah, so that's what was the mostly focused shows that had. But there were other leaks that also did come out. They came from Disney TVA. First off, Hailey's on it. Hailey's on it. By the way, there wasn't really much changes. All I could say is that the pilot was like faithful to the first episode that we saw from Hailey's on it. The only difference that we saw was that Hailey had green eyes. Hailey looked more of a nerd, to be fair, in the pilot, and the voice actors would have changed. According to the Bible, according to the Bible, Hailey would have been voiced by Ashley Birch, aka Molly McGee, and Scott Denoga would have been voiced by Adam MacArthur, aka Marco Diaz.
So you mean to tell me that Hailey's Honor was originally going to be a crossover between Ghost and Molly McGee and Star Wars: The Forces of Evil?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Wow, I'm just imagining it right now. Like imagine instead of Hailey's on it, called Molly's on it. Not just kidding. It's interesting to see how it's a brand new Disney Channel show would have Molly McGee and Marco Diaz in it. But I'm glad that they went with different voice actors because, well, the more variety of voice actors in Disney TVA shows, the better.
Yeah, so I did take some pages from the Bible and actually talked about Hailey. Like I said, she does look a little bit more nerdier to say. I'm not gonna lie, sorry Hailey fans, but she kind of does look like a nerd in the pilot. She had green eyes compared to the black eyes we saw in in the regular show. Again, she looks more witty. She looks very, you can see the green eyes actually on the TV, by the way. So it looks pretty witty. She looks like a very smart girl. Another thing I also do want to bring up is that they actually did want to bring up Hailey and Scott together. Like, they did the whole same route like what they did with Kim Possible and Unstoppable, where they were just friends at first, but they would eventually become a couple at the end. And that's what we're seeing currently on Hailey's Audit, where Hailey does like Scott, but we don't know when the confession's going to be.
So they were going to go originally with the will they, won't they route.
I do like the fact that they brought up ideas just like the two couples from, The Office. And then Kim and Ron right there, by the way.
Yeah, from friends to lovers.
Yeah, that was the route that they were going to go for, which is pretty cute. Another character I also want to bring up is Christine. So Christine would have originally still been the Hat Queen. Like, she's very popular. She's kind of feels like the Andrea with the hats. But her route would have been the same thing. She would be a Hat Queen, and then she goes to the TV show, I believe. But the other thing, too, is that she still would date Scott. Again, it just feels like the same thing that I've seen from Hailey's On. It's just the thing I want to point out is the fact that she looks so different compared to what we got in the final version. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Beta, by the way. Cute little Beta. Cute little Beta. Again, same old Beta. She was going to have AI capabilities, and also voiced by the same guy who is currently voicing Beta right now. So, yeah. There wasn't really much difference when it comes to Hailey's On It pilot versus what they were going to be proposing from the original episode. So, I can't say much about it. I think they still did a really good job with it. It's just more like, oh my god, what if it'd be great if we get to see Molly and Marco Diaz work together? Actually, to be fair, do you like the current voice actresses now for Hailey's On It?
I think the current voice actors and actresses do a solid job with the show. So I'm not really, complaining that they changed the voice actors because I feel like these voice actors really do pull it off.
I mean, Avali Cavallo,
especially Moana as Hailey.
Yeah, Avali Cavallo, who is freaking Moana.
Yeah,
she did a great job, and she can sing. You can totally hear her songs during Hailey's On It soundtrack. And Scott Denoga, even though he's supposed to be a dummy, I feel like the person who's doing the voice of Scott did a better job compared to Adam MacArthur.
Yeah, I feel like with this one, he really pulls off a lovable doofus sort of.
He is a doofus, but
he's a doofus we all love.
I do like Scott. I do like Scott's voice currently right now. Like he says it sarcastically, but I know he's trying to be funny. So yeah, that's Hailey's On It. I do want to bring up a little bit of pointers from. Oh, forgot. The professor would have been the professor like that. That's one thing. And then the other character, AC, the character that was like rivaling with Hailey, apparently was a knockoff of young Sheldon. It kind of seems that way, right? I mean, like, he is a nerd. He rivals with Hailey, and I'm not gonna lie, he is a little bit annoying. The fact that every time him and Hailey meet up, they just continue to like see who's better.
Yeah, he definitely has that whole '90s nerd attire to it, especially like the bow.
Right. Either way, I mean, I think they did have a great concept of what Hailey's On It was, and it is turning out to be what the real show is at the moment. So, yeah. Good job. You guys are following the Bible. It ain't like the other ones I had no Bibles to say. All right, last but not least, I also want to bring up Big City Greens. So the storyboard the original pilot compared to the final product we had for the first episode, I have a feeling like we didn't really change much. The only thing that I saw that was different was the introduction, because when you saw the first episode, Space Chicken, it was a runner that first saw Cricket. It wasn't like in the pilot there actually was two people that actually met up with Cricket. So it's like you hear Cricket say like, "Oh, hi, we're your neighbors. My name is Cricket, Cricket Green," and then they both get disgusted by Cricket or something. Yeah, but everything else from the pilot episode is the same, except for a few things. Remy's voice was not going to be Zeno Robinson, it was some other random guy. But the voice from the pilot looked so deep, sounded so deeper compared to what Zeno Robinson was, and I feel like the change was perfect.
Yeah, which is why Zeno Robinson was more suitable for the role, because like his voice as Remy sounds much more like a kid.
Yeah, I mean he's
which is fit for the kid, which is
like
because Remy's a kid, so it's much more appropriate.
He had the perfect high.
It's more appropriate.
He had the perfect high pitch versus who Remy was in the pilot, because it felt like a childish man to say.
Yeah, no, and when you're voicing a kid, you gotta make sure that kid sounds like a kid.
Yeah, and he did a perfect job with it. Yes.
Yeah.
Again, nothing much changed. Like, again, same voice actresses for all 4 characters: Cricket Green, Tilly Green, Alice, and Bill. I mean, you didn't want to point out the fact that Gloria didn't look great in the pilot compared to the regular show.
Oh God, yeah, Gloria in the original, like. Oh my God! Like Gloria in the finished project looked much more beautiful than in the original. Like Gloria in the original concept, my God! Like her face, she looked like she had this droopy face.
Oh my God! Like her face was longer or something.
Yeah, her face was so long. It was just. Oh dear Lord.
But anything else? I mean, like I didn't see Gloria, to be fair, and I guess she was that ugly looking. I don't know. She's supposed to be a worker for Big Coffee. Like,
yeah,
you didn't expect her to become like a main character in a later not a main character, more of a big secondary character in a later show.
Like she's supposed to be like the young adult worker of a cafe, and while you could argue that like working at a cafe does tend to do wonders to like do damage to your mood, like does make your face all droopy. No, I would argue that that'd be way too exaggerated. Like like in the original, in the Big City Grease show, she still looks normal. She looks like a normal.
She's supposed to look like Cricket, look like Tilly, look like Alice, but from the way you're explaining to me, she doesn't even look like that. She looks more like a regular. I don't know, some sort of regular.
Yeah, no. The problem is that her face was way too exaggerated. Whereas, like I said before, Gloria Sato in the actual Big City Greens episode, like she still looks young, she looks normal, and she looks beautiful.
Okay. Well, besides being picky like that, again, not big changes when it came to the pilot and the first episode. So all I can say is like only small little bit differences, but either way, the first episode kind of related to what the pilot looked like.
Yeah, for the most part, the episodes stay the same with some major changes. Only a few major changes, but still.
All right. So that's all the shows we could bring up. I also do want to say that there were other shows that were also leaked out. DuckTales was also one of them. I believe Wonder Over Yonder had their pilot also leaked. What was it? Jimmy Two Shoot? No, Jimmy Two Shoot was a different show. Kick Buttowski also had a leak. Yeah, was also a leak. Again, a lot of TV shows from Disney TVA from right now to the past have been leaked out all on 4chan and Reddit, which leads us to a big question. Even though we have a goldmine of new material from pilot pitches, Bibles, and all this stuff concept stuff that would have been made into the TV shows that we see in Disney TVA, this feels like it's a bad thing for Disney Channel. Because all this information is confidential, so what the person is doing here is pretty much violating the rules, those NDA rules, and they could be sued for their actions. So your thoughts on the fact that this is like a big gold mine for us Disney TVA fans, but could be a big bad thing for Disney TVA.
Yeah, this could really harm Disney TVA because you have all these original concepts and pilot pitches like they pretty much all been leaked. Like this is pretty much available not just 4chan and Reddit, but also it spreads everywhere on Twitter, and it's really bad because it harms. It's definitely harmful, violates the NDA rules, and it's also something that like whoever leaked it, they could use against Disney TVA.
Yeah.
And the thing is, whether it be out of spite or whether it be spite against Disney TVA or whether it be just to give the fans the goodies, this still was not an ethical thing to do.
The thing is that when I first saw those things come out, I was like, how were you able to get the sources? And they told me Reddit and 4chan. Okay, that was one thing, but I was just having my doubts too that it was actually real stuff, but it was real stuff. And this actually was weird because like when I was downloading all the content or seeing all the content that was on YouTube, I was like, okay, cool, this is awesome. I can see him. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm taking this with a grain of salt. Isn't this bad for Disney TVA? And I feel like it is because you can't leak this stuff out. Like, have you seen the pitches for like pitch shows for other cartoons, for example? Like, how about the Bible for the Loud House? How about the Bible for SpongeBob SquarePants? How about
I want to see Bible for Loud House. I want to see what that.
No. I'm just saying, like, these were all like concept stuff that were made into TV shows that you get to see and enjoy. I mean, Cartoon Network will probably have all those Bibles too, and those never got leaked. Yeah. Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Ed and Eddie, Dexter's Lab. I don't think we ever heard about those Bibles or anything of those pitches or any of those ideas that came out from those creators. So this is huge. Like, I can't believe Disney TVA or somebody from Disney TVA actually leaked this out because I don't think any other network has done this before, and they went ahead and did it, and that absolutely is terrible.
Yeah, I'm thinking most of the shows that got leaked, these Bible pitches and all that stuff. Yeah, notice how like most of them came from Disney TVA specifically, not from the.
Yeah,
other
I'm just saying like because we've said this before. An employee did this, or some random folk from 4chan just ended up leaking it all. It could be a hacker. It could be like somebody working inside Disney TVA, but we have content. And we can't do anything about it. It's not going to get deleted, guys. It is in Reddit. It is in 4chan. You can be able to watch it whenever you want. You can download it whenever you want. So, again, it's just bad. Yeah. Like, to have this kind of content out in public right now.
Yeah, Disney TVA is going to call up some lawyers.
Like they did.
Like Disney's going to have some lawyers.
They did delete the videos on YouTube. That's one thing. But again, it's still
the damage is still done.
Yeah, the damage is still done. People still know about these Bibles and pitches and stuff.
There's still a lot of content that has yet to be deleted. They're still on websites like 4chan and Reddit.
I don't think they're going to delete it. Somebody's probably going to download it and upload it again.
Yeah, so that's the thing. While deleting the videos is all well and good, while it cleans up part of the problem, it doesn't clean up the whole mess.
Yeah. But I have to say this. I feel guilty about it that I actually did watch all of those pilots.
I couldn't help it. Yeah, it is a dirty gold mine, but it's still a gold mine regardless.
It's dirty. I know it's absolutely dirty, but like, look, we're fans. I did want to see what Amphibia looked like in the pilot. I did want to see how Anne, Sasha, and Marcy ended up being part of Amphibialand. Yeah.
Like, we can agree that this was, the wrong thing to do, while at the same time be fascinated by all these original concepts and what was to come.
Mm-hmm. So now our big question is, what's going to happen to Disney TVA now? I feel like the way I'm kind of seeing it is that they got to do a lot of collateral damage.
Yeah.
They got to fix up that collateral damage that happened. I don't know if they can delete everything, but whoever is a big fan of Disney TVA, you pretty much got a gold mine with you. For the future shows that will come out, like Primos, for example, they gotta lock that down. Yeah. Chibiverse shorts, the Broken Karaoke shorts, anything that Disney Channel is going to bring out. Thankfully, those didn't get leaked, but they probably will. I don't know. The Disney TVA just needs to watch out for their employees. That I feel for the person that was like putting it out all over Reddit and 4chan or whatever. That's a very scummy move for them to do. I feel like they really should get sued for. They really will get sued for what they did. This really is a bad reputation that Disney TVA brought to Disney TVA, and they should get punished for it. Like, that's criminal for them to do that, breaking that NDA law. And I know some people do break NDA laws, but like this one is a huge one. Like, you can. Like, somebody could like leak out an image of the next Samsung phone or the next Apple phone, and they will get a slap in the wrist or get fired from their job. This one is more big, like you're bringing out big secrets to everybody.
Oh yeah,
yeah. This will get you like jail time if anything.
Jail time. Yeah, I was about to say, if not just fines, then yeah, definitely jail time. There are 3 things that I would imagine that Disney would definitely do regarding this situation. Okay, step number 1, they're going to do some deep investigating into this. Number 2, they're going to find who the investigator is. Number 3, they're going to take him to court. And that actually comes back to step number 4, they're going to lawyer up. Like, they're going to get some, because Disney has some top-notch lawyers. Like, they got some really, top-notch S-tier lawyers. So, yeah. whoever leaked it, they are screwed.
They
are screwed.
know that Disney is just huge up when it comes to luring up, so they
Yeah.
know what to do. If anything, the dude or the people that leaked out that stuff, you're in huge trouble, man. You're in huge trouble. But again, I felt guilty about watching all of this. But as a fan of Amphibia, Owl House, Hailey's on it, Big City Greens, Gravity Falls, you couldn't help but see what would have been. You know?
Hey, you're not the only one who's done this. I've done this. A lot of Amphibia fans have done this. A lot of Owl House fans have done this. We've all looked, okay? We were all curious about it.
Yeah, indeed. And we were like all over social media talking about it too. So there was that. But to say the least, I think this is just a lesson for every like company, every animation company, every like company in Hollywood that's working on TV shows right now. Secure your stuff. Secure everything that you have. Make sure that those people that you hire do not break NDA laws. Like, make sure that you're on top of that. Have cybersecurity step up and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't want this kind of stuff happening again. And again, we don't know if Disney TVA got a lot of damage out of this, but who knows what will happen with it. But I feel like Disney TVA is currently going to be good for now.
Not only do you need to up your security, not only do you need to up your protection, but also one thing that you should do going forward, thorough background checks. Like, make your background checks even more thorough.
What do you mean by background checks?
You know how you interview these people and then they get their jobs. Make sure, like, you know, like look into every detail.
You mean like their criminal activities or stuff like that?
Their criminal activity.
Usually when they apply for a job, don't they actually say that they did a felony?
No, but before they hire them, sometimes companies usually do like background checks to make sure that, you know, they're legit. They haven't done any criminal activity or something like that. Companies do tend to do that.
I see. Yeah, they should do that if anything. I think one thing's for certain: don't hire a criminal, especially in a big company like Disney.
Yeah, exactly. Because, well, it is Disney, and you think that Disney would be more careful than that.
Exactly, but again, we don't know. No matter what, Disney TV, I think, is fine. This is just a big red mark on their history at the moment, but they'll survive. Yeah. They'll make amazing shows. We'll see how it goes for Disney TVA.
Oh yeah, let me just say it's gonna be like Disney is going to
they will succeed. They will get me out of this run.
No,
They'll be out of this run.
I was about to say, like, Disney's gonna have one hell of a day in court.
No, I'm just saying, like, they're going to succeed. They're going to get money from that dude, and that dude is probably going to go to jail for like the Anination podcast. Again, this is a long one, but again, we have so much to talk about when it comes to the world of animation. We'll be back next Instagram, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So that you get updated about things that we have coming up for the Animation Podcast. We are going to bring up brand new videos for the Animation Podcast. I'm still working on those, so get ready to see more just random videos coming out. You got guys. Nate and Omid are out for the week. We'll see you guys back next Wednesday. Until then, have a fun night, guys.
Take care, y'all.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.